Lich in trouble, he comes to Storm. Oh no, Colin was used defensively, trying to save it though! Oh no, they're not gonna be able to do it!
Look at that! He's gonna end the game on the core here. We see on the core, and that's gonna be game!
Welcome back, everybody, to WCG 2019 here in beautiful Xi'an, China. We've got ourselves a Dota 2 semifinal coming up. I'm joined by Danog. How you doing?
Not too bad. Really excited. You know, top four now. We're down to the nitty-gritty of things, and you know, a bit of the teams that have had a bit of more of a struggle have been knocked out of the tournament. I think they're going to the Terracotta Warriors today, so not a complete loss for them.
That's true. It's a nice consolation prize for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. But we've got the four top teams going through the group stage, being Newbie, CDEC, Hippomaniacs, and Cignal Ultra. So pretty exciting to see. I think we've got CDEC and Cignal coming up first.
Yeah. Any obvious favorite? Well, I guess there's an obvious favorite out of the bunch. Newbie swept the groups. As far as our game, Cignal versus CDC, so we've got that match coming up. There's going to be the Newbie versus Hippomaniacs game on a little bit later in the middle of the day, and then the third place match is also going to be coming up. But as you can see here for Tournament Zone 1, starting off with some Dota, and then they're going to hit us with some Clash Royale League. So if you stick around here,
at the end of the day.
That's true.
It's pretty exciting. It's like we were talking about it before backstage. You know, it was like an amalgamation of all the different like FPSs that we grew up with. You know, it feels like. Oh, it's really cool.
That's cool. I can understand the popularity for sure.
Absolutely. And we can see here we're now into the knockout stage. Best of threes now. So no more best of ones. You can't really use a cheese strategy to take out the entire series. You need to be consistent throughout the entire thing. And we can see there at the bottom, the prize pool is for first, second, and third. So one of these four teams is going to go home with a big old goose egg, unfortunately.
Yeah, we're pretty much in the money. But yeah, it is unfortunate that that fourth place team is going to be getting nothing. I guess there's really no consolation for them. They're not going to. Yeah, that's just, you got to win.
Yep.
That's how these tournaments work. We can see our bracket at the moment. So it isn't full double elimination. It's actually single elim with a third, fourth decider match.
Yep. So if you win this match, you're in the money. You're guaranteed at least 40,000 US, which is a pretty nice prize pool, I would say. And then if you take out the grand final as well, you get that 80,000 first prize.
Yeah, and we could even have what you predicted at the very beginning of the tournament, the China v China grand final, Newbie versus CDEC. I thought it was going to be the other way around. I thought the CDEC were going to top the group.
Yeah, me too.
But they had some struggles, and they actually lost in their best of one against Cignal.
Yeah.
So that is not a great starting point for them.
Now, you'd have to be a little bit worried. That might be playing on their mind a little bit. Now, the question on everyone's mind, we've recently had an update, you know, within the last hour or so. Will we see the Kid Invoker come out?
I want to see it. Yeah. But I don't know if Invoker is in a particularly great place at the moment.
Nah, first pick. Let's go.
Yeah. Just to show it off.
Yeah.
I'd be down.
That'd be pretty exciting. Now, with these first picks, they're pretty standard. We were talking yesterday about Sand King kind of being completely absent from the professional scene, then raring onto the scene, being picked all the time, and then dropping way back off again. Now it seems like he's made a little bit of a resurgence. So he's not picked every single game, but you know, in the right draft, he can be picked. But we can see here CDEC really value at least the way that Cignal play it, in that they're using their first bound on it.
I wonder if he's going to be coming back a little bit more because all the creep cutting has been nerfed. Like Sand King is one of the best. He's not a very good creep cutting hero, but he is a really good hero to contest the lane directly. And I think some of the strongest off-lane dual lanes center around Sand King. Like, there's not actually, when you think about the off-laners, to me, not many come to mind when you think about heroes that are like immediately getting stuns in the off-lane. We used to see a little bit of position 3 Wraith King. That's not really much of a thing anymore.
Yep.
And so in general, it does feel like getting that stunning position 3 is at a little bit more of a premium now, especially if you can't just creep cut and get like a guaranteed blink on Axe or that kind of a thing.
They ban out the Lina as well, one of Sand King's strongest partners. So I guess just wanting not to be harassed out of the lane is the big priority for CDEC. Maybe they're going to go something a little more greedy.
First overall pick, Crystal Maiden. What do you make of this, Matt?
I mean, what could they be looking to pair this with? Maybe something like a Bristleback, just so that you're able to spam out those cool sprays in lane?
Storm Spirit, perhaps. CDEC with a very strong opening, the Centaur plus Rubik. We've seen this dual lane just go absolutely ballistic.
Especially with that Arcane Supremacy, right? Like, if you steal any of Crystal Maiden's spells, they're going to be doing a ton of damage.
Yeah, that's true. I think Rubik's in a good place at the moment. Hopefully he doesn't get... I guess there's not really going to be any more patches, so he probably won't get nerfed before TI. I imagine we'll be seeing a decent amount of him there.
Maybe just like bug fixes and that sort of thing.
Could be.
Yeah. Or it could be a whole fountain hook scenario of, well, it's in the game. You know, you got to deal with it.
Yeah. I wonder if there's anything that...
Game breaking.
There's always weird bugs, but a lot of them are really difficult to replicate.
Like the Naga Siren being able to walk through Tusk Shards. Like, remember when that was a while ago?
Yeah, but that was consistent. I'm more thinking of things like... what was the one I saw on Reddit the other day? There was some bug, and it was like someone was posting about Pudge's rot damage randomly, like the tick rate changes, and so it does less damage for a certain amount of time than it's supposed to, and then it goes back to normal.
To himself or to others?
To others. Yeah. So it's like it's pretty bad for the hero, but
an Ember Spirit very early on from Cignal here.
Okay.
So, leaving themselves a little bit open to be countered, but I'm guessing that they're going to be banning out some of his higher priority counters in this next phase. You know,
what do you think those counters are now? Because there's laning counters, and then there's game counters, and now he's got the new aspect of having to be worried about roots a little bit more than he used to. So, Meepo.
I don't think CDEC have a Meepo player, so they don't really have to worry about that too much. But maybe the Razor.
I would definitely be banning XM Tracer.
Yeah. Death Prophet.
He's way too comfortable on that hero. Maybe like Razor and OD.
Yeah,
no, but the Naga. All right, the Naga does get banned out. Maybe they just don't feel like they have room in the... I feel like if the enemy team is picking Naga, you need to have room to fit in like a Lesh or a Pango to be able to counter it. Otherwise, you're just in such big trouble. Illusion clearing is kind of at a premium in the current meta.
There we go. There's another root being banned out with the Grimstroke.
Okay, so they're really trying to set this Ember Spirit up for success, but they are leaving the potential laning counters in. So we'll see what happens with that. And yeah, I like the Grimstroke ban. It's not too bad as a position 5 with the Rubik.
10 seconds remaining.
Still plenty of decent 5 heroes left in the pool. Could see Shadow Demon coming out. Do you think this Crystal Maiden's going to be a 4 or a 5? What's your preference?
I feel like you're just food if you're a position 5 Crystal Maiden these days. You know, you need to at least get a couple of braces pretty early on, and then you're actually able to harass quite well with the change to the attack speed. You know, has a decent animation, and just now being able to attack a little bit faster and have that additional layer of survivability. On top of that, once you hit level 6, you've got the freezing field armor. It's a bit harder to actually deal with a CM now if she's got a tiny bit of farm.
Yeah, I really like Crystal Maiden position 4.
Oh, I really think they should pick the Razor now on Cignal. Like, not only does it block the Ember Spirit from being, you know, countered by it with an ATOS or just the strong lane, but also you can just deal with a Troll Warlord really easily.
Do you think it's okay in lane against... what would they put in lane against Centaur then? I don't know if the Ember or the Razor is...
The Razor's okay.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I imagine it's all right. I'm just worried that, like, if you give the Centaur some stacks... Well, one, you're also playing against the Rubik, so he's just going to be throwing you back when you go for the link. But 2, if you give the Centaur some stacks, Razor does get tanky later on, but he's not actually that tanky right at the beginning of the game. And I'm just picturing him getting lifted into Stomp Retaliate, but they do go for it. I do agree with the idea, but we'll see how it works in terms of the lanes.
It kind of forces the Rubik as well to go into a skill build that he might not like so much. You know, with the Arcane Supremacy doing so much work early on with the Fade Bolt, it means that you kind of force them to skill into the telekinesis, which a lot of Rubiks don't like to do. And
I think you always get lift at level 2. So.
Not always. I've seen people not do it. I've seen wait until like level 4 to do it.
Okay.
Maybe you might do it at level 2 now, but you probably will have the CM with you, or they could reshuffle their lanes to make that happen, so that if they are trying to use telekinesis to pull the Razor back, stop the link from happening, you've got that Crystal Nova or the Frostbite there just to be able to slow them down and then let the Razor reposition and keep the link going.
True. The CM is a strong laner, so that should help whatever the Cignal setup ends up being, but CDEC, what is their response going to be? Probably just going to pick up their position 5 here, as they do go for an Oracle, so
I like it.
Some nice synergy with the Troll Warlord.
They're really going for these roots here.
Yeah, that's true. They do have a lot of lockdown now, potentially, for the Ember. That could be pretty scary for him this game. Even Rubik is really nice, right? If Rubik manages to get to a Blink Dagger or something, Blink Lift, it's got a long duration, it's pretty much instant, there's no real way to react to it.
What do you think about the Ancient Apparition here?
For Cignal? Yeah. He got a very minor nerf recently.
I don't think he needed it, to be honest.
No, and wow, they straight up take the Slark, so I guess this last pick is either going to be their 4 or their 5. We're leaning towards it being position 5 with the Crystal Maiden being the position 4, but Slark...
Well, what's their initiation other than the Ember Spirit, you know?
Yeah. And, I mean, I suppose that they're good at getting to the back lines and kind of pressuring the Oracle and the Rubik, but...
I feel like CDEC is good enough that they can avoid a poor position to let that happen, though.
Yeah.
You need something like, you know, Spirit Break hasn't been banned. You've still got Clockwork there, not the greatest. Earth Spirit's still in there. So there are position 4 style heroes that can still fulfill the initiation role.
Sure. Is it off-lane Razor now? So off-lane Razor, mid-Ember, and safe-lane Slark?
Yeah, Razor into the Troll. Pretty good.
Yeah, seems okay. I'm kind of worried about Cignal's lanes here. The Ember's kind of a weak laner, the Slark's kind of a weak laner, and Razor, I think he'll do okay, but also needs some farm to really get the ball rolling.
I'm going to say Spirit Breaker.
For Cignal?
Yeah. Or Earth Spirit, one of the two.
I think they might Shadow Demon.
But how do they initiate? That's the big question.
Yeah, that's the problem. But I don't know if they're necessarily going to fix that with their support pick.
Really? Spirit Breaker?
I think Spirit Breaker, he got nerfed so much.
Nature's Prophet?
How is that fixing the initiation problem?
You TP off the back line.
Now you're just throwing out hero names,
Sprout.
Man. Yeah.
You know, it kind of does it.
Yeah.
Really. Body block with Treants, you know.
I'm down for the Shadow Demon. I think it's good here. It's good against the Troll, it's good against the Oracle, and it's good against the Centaur.
Pause 4 Invoker that you were telling me about.
Look, I think Pause 4 Invoker is legit. I don't think this is necessarily the Pause 4 Invoker game. My entire concept about Pause 4 Invoker is that the rest of your team needs to not be countered by BKB, and then the position 4 Invoker forces the enemy cores to buy BKB when they don't want to.
Right.
Because you're just EMPing them and deafening blasting.
Something a little bit different. Well, there is some initiation, but Puck will need to get a decent amount of farm to be able to, you know, pick up that Blink Dagger. Might just be able to rely on the Illusory Orb just for now, though.
So, 4 Puck, and CDEC just going to go for the OD. Okay. CDEC's lineup seems so much more straightforward. I like the OD versus the Slark, and the Slark, Razor, and Ember, actually. All 3 of those heroes, the OD seems like a good answer to. The Puck is maybe a little bit annoying, but it's also a support this game. I gotta say I'm favoring CDEC.
So am I, and just because I feel like OD would have been a great pick for Cignal if they had some form of initiation, right? Like they could deal with the Troll really easily. You can deal with a lot of like the Oracle, for example, just put him in the Astral Imprisonment and then burst down the rest of the team. But they were kind of forced into it because of their earlier stages of the draft. I don't know if this CM is really the way that they should have been going about it, but we'll have to see.
Yeah. And do you think this is going to end up being a good Slark game?
Not really. I think the OD really made it a bad Slark game. Like it was an okay one before that, but the OD just, it's the icing on the cake.
I can see him hunting the supports, kind of, but I don't really like his matchups against the cores.
Yeah, I think if the Oracle is patient enough to wait for the Fate's Edict, to wait for the Dark Pact to be gone, it'll be okay because you can just then disarm the Slark. There's nothing he can do.
So long as he's patient and just kind of waits at the Dark Pact.
Maybe use the root on him, force him to use it early to try and do damage, and then just Fate's Edict to follow up on it. Be pretty decent. But we'll see how we go. We're right into things.
All right.
So we're both going for CDEC, it sounds like.
Yes, just even with Cignal winning the group stage match, I am definitely going for...
What are these lanes? Is this a Razor support?
So yeah, who is position 4 here? I do like the puck getting promoted. It is a good... Wait, is that a position 4 Ember Spirit?
I love it if so.
Oh,
Just
no.
for the memes, you know?
Just for the memes. Lordy. I don't know. We got to click on him, but we'll have to see. Yeah, that is a position 4 Ember Spirit.
30 seconds.
All right,
to battle.
I got CDEC double now.
Yeah.
I don't know if I do think that this puck matchup versus OD is decent on the mid lane.
It's a lot
but-
better.
Yeah, but the same problems that we had for the Ember getting locked down a bunch this game, there is also some lockdown for the puck, so we'll see.
All right, how much can they bait them in here? We've got 3 heroes on Signal's side. Actually going in now, and CM might be able to wrap around on the backside.
All right, yeah, they got the change. Crystal Maiden coming in with the Nova. Good damage. Troll Warlord getting run down. Static Link building up, but he's still pretty speedy and looks like he will be able to escape. Crystal Maiden might try for one last nuke. Going for it in the trees. Not quite going to be able to get the kill. There is a slowdown coming back the other way. But there will not be a first blood spilled this day, and Oracle does have a salve ready to rock and roll. Nice block for the OD at mid. Looks like he is going to get slightly the better of this. Not by much, though.
Now we're going to see the TP come through up towards the top lane. Yes, we are. So a decent little pairing with the CM and the Slug.
Yep. Okay, well, we'll see how well they can do against this dual lane. I know how good the Centaur Rubik lane is. I have to see how good Slark CM is as an answer to it.
Yeah. Especially now that the Rubik doesn't have to worry about being against a Razor, right? You just... Oh, actually, here we go. Here's the Ember Spirit coming into the equation.
Yeah, this is kind of working out. He's slowed down by a lot. And looks like they're actually going to get the first blood here. There you go.
Oh.
Cignal picking it up.
The turnaround, though.
Yeah, he's looking for it and will manage to grab it. So it still ends up being a core-for-core trade. Centaur taking some damage up top, but that's just filling up that retaliate meter.
So I really think that this Rubik is going to go into the Arcane Supremacy as opposed to the lift now, because you don't have to worry about the Razor so much. What are your thoughts?
That's true. I think he might. We'll have to see. I think the lift is still useful with... yeah, I think the lift is still useful with the Centaur, like lifting him back into a stomp, something like that. The imprisonment at mid. But, oh, they're chasing him through the trees, actually. Centaur taking a little bit of damage. And, he's fine. They now got to be really careful. He's got max stacks. Slark still has a decent amount of regen here. But so far, the laning stage, across the board, everybody's getting at least a bit of farm. I mean, I can see the concept of the Slark versus the Centaur. You've got quite tanky on the Centaur, so Slark tends to
It's like a double-edged
revel in
sword.
that kind of matchup. Yeah, oh, but they're going on him. Slark tries for the
nice
pounce away, but the immediate lift from James. And 1, 2, 3 will grab that kill.
And he even kept the skill point banked for a long time, just in case he did need to escape. But again, the fast fingers by James, enabling him to secure it. And he was really the MVP for CDEC throughout, well, both the regional finals as well as here in the grand finals.
Yeah, so definitely looking out for more plays from him. It's interesting because in the regional, well, not the regional finals for WCG, but the TI qualifiers, his Rubik actually got punished fairly heavily. So we'll see if that happens here at all. Once again, going on this Troll Warlord, draining out some damage. Troll, despite all of the pressure, still 13-2 compared to the Razor's 6-2. And I'm a little bit worried about what the support Ember Spirit is going to be able to do outside of the laning stage. Like, it looks okay for now, but...
The question that I'm asking myself is, it seems like, well, I'm not 100% sure. Was this Ember Spirit something that they were just trying to bait out CDEC to pick a lot of root heroes and then just say, joke's on you, it was a support the entire time?
Oh, they're trying for this Razor. They are going to get him, actually. Enough damage coming in from Victoria.
Or was it a situation where it was more like...
Oh, now they want the Crystal Maiden. Lift back into the stomp. CM's got a couple of disables. That's a double kill going down for the Oracle at the bottom lane, and now they're going to get one more laning stage, starting to look really, really good for CDEC.
So do you think it was like Cignal's plan the entire time to go this position for Ember Spirit, or do you think they were forced into it by the way that the draft went?
I think they've done it because they think that I don't think they were baiting. I think that they saw how difficult of an Ember Spirit game it looked like, and they just wanted to deprioritize him a little bit.
Right.
And they thought, oh, okay, we don't want to lane mid against the OD either. Let's pick a better lane.
Because I do like a very similar thing in, granted it's my pubs, but you pick like second phase position for Zeus, and then just say to your team, look, don't worry, they're going to try and counter me as much as possible, so you're just going to have an easy mid lane when they just try and focus on me as much as they can.
Yeah, that's true. I do definitely think there are situations where that can be really valuable. That's the other value of position 4 Invoker, man.
Do you need the Midas still as the position?
No, you're just playing Quaswex. Right. So you're just kind of going for like Vessel and
I think we might see a few bounty scripts happening right now, or at least attempts for it.
Yeah. Battle coming in.
Fast fingers there by
the Ember, yep. Looking for the lockdown, but immediate purge off by the Oracle.
And I guess one of the other benefits of that Ember Spirit is that, you know, when we talk about the difference between old school Dota and Dota these days, supports find a way to get fun.
They're going on the Razor. He's got a little bit of damage stolen, but is that going to be enough? Actually, the Troll isn't hitting for anything, and they get the turnaround. Ember picking that one up. Nice little killing spree ended for him, and OD at mid, taking some damage. He's got the stick charges, gets some more items delivered, salve as well. Puck manning up, really wants this kill, but won't be able to get it.
Did he have enough to kill with that Sanities?
I don't even know if it would have done that much damage against Puck with double null.
Oh, I didn't realize the Puck's item, so yeah, he's got
double null, and he still had the rain drop off cooldown. So I think it makes sense to hold on to it. They're still winning these lanes, though it is fairly close across the board. The Razor was a little bit behind, but he's now catching up, and he should be able to farm decently later on.
And this Centaur as well, he's having a very good game. It's really just about how they're going to transition that into this mid game. Once you know, these heroes do rotate around a little bit, once they might give a bit of more farm into James, we've seen that they've made a pretty decent priority of that when Centaur can just easily rotate through the jungle.
Top tower is getting pretty heavily pressured. Slark was kind of trapped there. They are going to be going for a smoke, linking up the two supports on the side of Cignal Ultra, trying to make some kind of a play across the map.
They're going to be revealed if they get too close to that tower too early on, and you've got that Observer Ward as well, which is really useful to have. I think they actually spot that out as well. Really nice Sentry Ward preemptively placed there. So he knows to back right off onto the left side of that Tier 1 tower, just being very safe.
Yeah, he wants them to think that they can still go for this gank, but... Alright, sends the illusion over. They're still going to go for it. They drop the Dream Coil. He does get silenced. Won't be able to defensively imprison himself, but he's actually just fighting for now. The Oracle TP's in, helping to keep him alive. And I don't think they have enough damage to continue here. Puck needs to be careful underneath the tower as Rubik also going to come TPing in here.
A little bit of a slow rotation, to be honest. Like, he should have known the entire time that they were going to go in onto him, but just a little bit delayed. Could have been a turnaround kill, I think, very easy. That Astral did come off cooldown towards the end of that fight.
So just going to end up being one by... solo lanes for a little bit. They are going on the Troll. He does get the... managed to get the blind out, but... Okay, still, once again, not enough damage. Lots of pressure being dealt out by Cignal Ultra, but not really getting these kills. Do you favor one team in the late game, especially?
It really depends of how much farm they're able to funnel into these supports, right? Like, that's one of the bonuses of having an Ember Spirit. You can then transition into a bit more of a semi-carry if you, you know, are able to get a bit more space for yourself. So, it's hard to say. Like, OD does scale so well later on, but then...
Slark in some danger. Pops the Shadow Dance, trying to turn this around a little bit, but needs to be careful. There's still stick charges and the Stampede. Once again, they go into the Troll Warlord, but he also has wand charges.
0 damage on him.
Double Root coming through. They disarm the Razor. Stampede going out. They're using the slow to try and turn this around, but Troll's just not doing anything, though. James with the rotation. Fade Bolt puts one in the ground. Ember will be the next target. Can they actually bring him down? will not be able to find him.
Are fortified.
As Puck with the DD coming in pretty deep here on the mid lane. Does have yet
the
another
Dream
Dream Coil.
Being a little bit cheeky.
Yeah, making the aggressive plays.
Oh, the courier? Yeah, they need a
Radiant's
micro.
Oh,
middle tower
no.
is under attack.
All right, just barely surviving. 13 HP on that one.
Stay near.
Dream Coil going out. Puck now with the orb used as well. Just a little bit of harassment. Jaunts up onto the high ground. Forces out another rotation. As Crystal Maiden is in pretty deep behind the tower here.
Does she have a ward? I think, is it a warding mission that she's going there for, or just trying to farm up as much as she can? Yeah, just farming. Going queued up as well as the Tranquil Boots finished, but still needs to come out on the courier, and it would have been a really hard situation for her if that courier did die to that mid tower. Breath of Wind would have killed it.
Did you like the Veil build on the Puck this game?
This game, yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, with the Ember Spirit, you're not going to be doing too much slide of this damage, right? So it's with the low amount of farm that you've got. So I think especially once he transitions more into the Flame Guard, it's going to be much more useful.
Yeah, look at the Crystal Maiden as well. There's,
Yeah, yeah.
there's quite a lot of magical damage across the board. Troll's just going for the Maelstrom build-up. Nice farming item. This has become the new default in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Is that just a misplaced ward? It looks like it was on the low ground of the stairs, the dire one in the Radiant jungle.
That should help.
Oh, okay.
It was like half a centimeter on the low ground.
That's a shame.
I see a lot of teams doing that, not just the Observer wards, but more notably the Sentry wards. They place
Dive
just
on the
low
Oracle.
end.
They've got the link on him.
He'll be
Losing
right.
some damage.
He's just trying to delay as
Breaking
much as
himself
possible.
off. Stick charges, and looks like he will be brought down. One more touch from the Ember Spirit. The CDEC supports in the meantime do seem to be lurking around well, at least James is lurking around the top lane, but Slark just retreating into the jungle. Troll hoping for a lucky route is not going to find it. Still
Hits his
continues
level
with the
6.
damage. Yeah, he's popped the battle trance. He's getting dragged out from underneath this tower, but
Radiant's bottom
he's gonna be
tower
okay.
is under attack. Dire's
ooh,
top
Crystal Maiden's
tower
maxing
is
the
under
aura.
attack.
I do not like that build.
For the role that she's playing, or just in general?
I just don't like it in
Dire's top
general.
tower has fallen.
Like, your nukes actually scale really well, and I don't know if your team is going to be using the aura well enough that, like, you really need to...
Do you think it's somewhat to prevent it from being punished early on by the Rubik? You know, if the spell still happens. And
No,
he's
I don't think so. I think he's just prioritizing it for his teammates to farm more, but I really don't like seeing it, to be honest.
We've got a 3v3 battle here, but they've got the luxury of just being able to camp underneath that tower.
Yeah, Puck just gonna jaunt straight in. They do want this kill. Dream Coil dropped out onto 2, but the rest of the team can't really
It's gonna
follow
snap.
up. They break the coil pretty much immediately. Centaur's coming down here. They do have the Stampede also available. Gonna be looking for a little bit more. Ember jumps away, but still gets rooted. And Odie's found him over on the other side.
I think they're just abandoning him.
Yeah, they've got a stomp ready for him. There's no way out. And then it's a
5
5-man rotation from
Radiant's bottom
CDEC.
tower is under
Meanwhile,
attack.
Nando, just in the top lane, very happy to just continue farming. You know, that net worth lead for the Centaur, it's still there, but if you're going to be committing this many heroes to kill a
Radiant's
position
middle
for
tower
Ember
is
Spirit,
under attack.
Slark's very happy with farming on his own.
Yeah, that's true. I think this is a lot of space for Slark. What are you thinking build-wise for the Slark this game? Do you want to see Midas? Do you want Drum?
I kind of want a Diffusal Blade.
Fusel Blade?
Yeah, I think that'd be pretty good. I think with Troll's lousy mana pool, you can quickly burst him down before he's able to pop the Battle Trance, and if he's forced to pop it preemptively, then you can just drag him out of position where he doesn't want to be.
Is he going to need a BKB this game, or
Yeah.
can he get away with statting up?
I think absolutely he needs it just to be able to deal with the Ember Spirit, as well as Dream Coil might get rocked in place.
Oh, no, I meant the Slark.
Oh, the Slark. Maybe later on.
They're looking for the turnaround. They're just going to try and burst the Razor, and they do so. Rubik with the stolen damage, also now getting into the chains. Crystal Maiden is just trying to sit there channeling the ultimate, but it's not really doing a whole lot. Ember wants to jump away,
Another
but just
Dream
can't
Coil.
quite do it. Dream Coil used defensively. And they're still chasing after him.
Ooh,
Can't quite land the stomp. Can they finish him off? Fadebolt not going to bounce either. He's getting a little bit of heal going now. And under the tower is the Centaur. He's still pretty healthy. Oracle going to end up ulting himself just to survive.
Slark's coming in.
CDEC will retreat. Slark, they want to continue the chase. Can they find a little bit more?
Nail as well, hits onto 3. Might be trying to bait it out a little bit with this puck.
Puck needing to be careful. They just immediately imprison the Slark. Dark Pact not going to be doing a whole lot. They look for the stomp immediately as he comes out. He is spamming the Shadow Dance. That's going to keep him alive a little bit longer. Nice body block. Slark, he's got the pounce, gets a little bit further away, but they still bring down the Crystal Maiden. They lift back the Slark into the fight, bringing him down, and CDEC only extending their lead as they now look for the puck through the trees.
They still haven't used the Sanity, so he's pretty safe for now.
It's still 17-second cooldown on his TP, so has to wait for a bit.
And now it's the adverse thing. You know, you've got the Troll Warlord who's happily able to TP to his Tri-Camp area, farm that up, and I think that net worth lead is going to grow even more. Razor falling a little bit behind, you would have to think, in net worth relative to the...
Yeah.
I mean, it shouldn't have been too difficult a lane for a Razor, to be honest. But I just think having an Ember Spirit, that non-traditional position 4, it didn't allow him to, I suppose, have the safety and security to farm like a position 3 Razor normally would.
The Razor does have quite a few deaths as well, right? Yeah, I think 0, 4, and 3. Scoreline not looking great after the last couple of fights. It's tough. He's the frontliner for his team. He really has to commit in super hard. So...
I think if you had the Crystal Maiden with him, it would have been a lot easier. And you can just see he's buying all of these low-cost value items right now, just because he needs to do something.
Walking up onto the high ground, they want these bounty runes. There are 3 heroes here, but Centaur still standing strong, gets the stomp out onto 1. Ember Spirit taking some big damage, and the Sanities also catches the Crystal Maiden on the high ground. Hops her instantly. Grimm's just brought down, no problem whatsoever. Slark did end up going for the Midas, so continuing to farm up this game, but like we've said, doesn't necessarily seem like a free Slark game.
And that's just standard Nando play. I think he's just not changing the way that he normally plays based on the lineup that he's up against. Maybe just realizing as well that, look, this is our only chance of coming back into it, considering how strong of an early game that CDEC had.
Yep. OD's already got his Force Staff, so Pounce not going to be nearly as useful. That is the other really nice thing about the OD pick this game, is being able to save your supports. Like Slark goes in on the back lines, he's trying to create havoc. You just imprison your support, keep him alive, or just imprison the Slark and keep your support alive. And Centaur also has a blink now.
I wonder if CDEC have spotted out this Midas yet on the Slark, because if they have, I think they would feel a lot more confident about having this Troll rotate through and try and take Roshan sooner rather than later.
Slark just taking big damage off the Troll Warlord, does still have the Dark Pact available, so Shadow Dance gets forced out. Looking for a turnaround at bottom, they do steal the Waning Rift.
Some really solid play here.
But yeah, the puck, I mean the Veil is helping him spam out the bottom lane, but don't know what else he's really accomplishing so far. Jump in, they've got the lift, looking for a little bit more lockdown. Rubik with the Stolen Silence. James finds himself a mega kill streak. Well, we expected big things from him, and he is certainly delivering.
Dire structures are fortified.
Slark still at pretty high level. They're going to stampede in over at top, getting in front of him. He's already used the pounce, now getting hit by the Waning Rift. Won't be able to do anything. James getting the double kill across the map. What a player.
Just rotating through, and I think it's really the tale of the supports this game. You know, you've got the Oracle, who's been fantastic at being able to save not only himself, create so much time for the rest of his team to actually have an impact, but also securing these kills early on.
Yeah, he's doing so well.
And now we've got James just sitting here in the mid lane, looking to maybe get the turnaround onto the puck, but CM also there.
Oh, they get the jump and stomp. Crystal Maiden just going to be melted instantly.
Dire's middle tower.
They now converge on the tier 1.
That farmed Centaur, there's really not too much he can do. He's got the phase boots for the extra armor, he's got the blinks for mobility, he's got the regen from the hood as well as the tank ability. I mean, a bit of a counter to the Veil as well, going that hood.
I
think Cignal are just trying to be a little bit too cute this game with the support picks. Like,
might catch him out again.
Yeah, they drag him back into the silence, and once more, Kim Elizabeth is going to be brought down.
Yeah, that Stolen Silence by James, perfectly comboed together with the Telekinesis and the Hoof Stomp from the Centaur.
It's gotten them so many kills.
Yeah.
Like, that's already 3 or 4 kills just off the Stolen Waning Rift. It's not like it would be that much better to give Rubik the Illusory Orb either. That's also going to give you initiation.
Is under attack.
They're walking up here at top, just looking to block the pounce. He does have the Shadow Dance, turns into it immediately. But OD not even the slightest bit concerned. Speaking of sleight of fist coming in.
No, terrible. Absolutely terrible.
He's got the stolen Searing Chains. He's looking for it.
And he has the Aether Lens as well, so you've got that increased range that you can hit the telekinesis. It would last for a fair amount of time. I'm really surprised that he's gone 0 points into the Flame Guard so far. Just for that defense.
Maybe he feels like it would just get dispelled too easily.
I guess.
And he's not really going to be farming a whole lot on this hero.
But do you really want to be focusing Dispel onto the Ember Spirit when you...
That's true. I think it would probably be worth it to get a couple of points. Even the... I think once you get Chains and Sleight at level 3, they both have a 10-second cooldown. So I think at that point, maybe he could have started going back to the Flame Guard.
Found him out.
Yep, getting locked down and just gets finished off by Victoria.
17-3. I mean, I know we were favoring CDEC earlier on, but did you think it was going to be this much of a...
No.
It's hard to say dominance, right? They've caught out the Crystal Maiden again. Look at that right click. Insane.
Did he even have... He didn't even have the Retaliate up. He was just... That was just his sheer damage.
That's just 140 right click damage.
Here's my problem. Normally at this point in the game, it's your 2 supports and your offlaner who are definitely making plays, and then sometimes your mid joins in, or your carry occasionally, right? But the 2 supports and the offlaner for Cignal are all just dying non-stop. So
I mean, they're trying to make plays.
It looks like they're losing. Well, and I think that's the reason that they're losing so hard is because they've got this...
I still put it down to this lack of initiation. They just have no way of starting these fights.
Yeah, no reliable way anyway, right? They don't have hard stuns. They've got a Chains that can get purged off. They've got a Dream Coil that can get imprisoned to save, or there's all kinds of saves on CDEC. It's just a really easy way to play Dota if you're them.
And a lot of that credit needs to go to this Oracle, you know, instantly purging off a lot of these things that are trying to catch out.
Drag back into the Chains. James is here by himself. They do have the Stampede, but he has been rooted. There's the defensive imprisonment. Cignal still want to engage this a little bit. The jump around from the Ember actually finishes out that kill. Nicely done. Gets the unstoppable streak on the back lines. Oracle is forced to ult himself, and this is not the best fight for CDEC, as it looks like they're also going to end up losing Victoria.
Troll's just hitting the bot tower, though. He's fine with this.
OD coming in, hops the BKB, wants to keep on fighting. He's still got the Sanities. He drops it down. Only connects onto 1, and it's not actually that much damage. Razor surviving through, and OD will force staff himself up onto the high ground. Look for the TP out. Can they find him? Yes, they do. Interrupting the TP. Might still be able to play his way out of this one, but now they catch him with the silence. Slark also coming through with the pounce. And that is going to end up being, what, a 3-0 in favor of Cignal.
And a little bit of a cheeky chat wheel as well coming through from the puck. I think that was really the perfect play. You know, yeah, James did die, but I think what he was doing created enough space so that the Troll could easily take that bot tier 2 tower. I think where it really turned around for Cignal was going in, popping that 10-second BKB, and then trying to take the fight.
I disagree with you. I think well, so just James's play you were okay with.
Yes.
And then after that, they needed to cut their losses
Yes.
after the 2 supports were done.
Absolutely.
Okay, I can kind of agree with that. James, he was in a weird spot, just being down the hill, like split up from his team. But I can see what they were going for.
But that's fine though. Like, all you need is an extra 10 seconds that a Troll needs to use the fervor stacks to take out a tower. Like,
but why not just go take the bot tower as 5? Jump in, stomp, looking for this Ember. They've got the lift. They've got so much lockdown for this hero.
I guess, but
do they really need to create a distraction with the lead that they have? Like, why not just go take the tower straight up?
Yeah, makes sense. I guess if they were going the full efficiency play, then they could have had the rest of the heroes doing something else.
He probably wanted to nuke mid-wave as well, just like keep it pushed in. Troll just going straight into the pit. This is clinical from CDEC. They see the puck down bottom. He's trying to cut some waves. Does stick around here because he wants to at least get the Waning Rift out.
Yeah, and they went through the jungle as well, not through the lane, so they wouldn't have seen that that Observer Ward wouldn't have seen this rotation through the Roche pit.
Yeah. Man, hardly any vision on the map for Cignal at this point in time.
That was happening. there wasn't really too much that they could have done. You know, yeah, you've got the Veil, yeah, you've got the Dream Coil. Still in level 1, actually, choosing to prioritize maxing up Puck's other spells, but I think just the threat of how far they
Jump
are.
in, stomp. They're locking down the Ember, lifting him up as well. One more auto attack's going to do it. Slark's sitting there invis, but not a whole lot that he can really do. Wants to try and commit in onto the Troll, but how much damage can he really do? He's already forced to use the Shadow Dance.
Oh, gets the stomp off.
Yeah.
BKB nicely popped though.
BKB also getting forced. Can they keep them here? The Dream Coil onto the 2 supports. Oracle just going to choose to save himself as James runs back in. They need to be careful. Slark doesn't have a whole lot of cooldowns left. They still want this Oracle kill. Looks like they might have done enough damage, but the Battle Trance now getting popped. Troll still surviving. Auto attacks onto the Slark. He gets brought down. They had the Sentry Ward there, but the Shadow Blade's not going to keep him alive. They do finish off the Troll, but now it's OD's turn to jump in and go hard. Crystal Maiden trying to hide in the trees, but they will find Grims after all is said and done. Auto attack him down, and now the Courier also going to end up falling. Ember doing what he can in the back lines, but Oracle there every single time with the Purge, and all that Puck can do is just try and go cut the mid-wave, delay this push a little bit longer.
I'm sure Grims would have loved to use the freezing field in those trees there, but just didn't have enough mana. The fight went on for too long that he just got drained.
Well, Ember's being a nuisance, but I'm not really sure how much actual work he's doing.
Yeah, it's kind of like a mosquito, right? Like, yeah, it's annoying,
he's buzzing,
but it's not gonna be the end of you know?
Okay, so Puck does manage to cut the mid-wave for a couple of waves, but CDEC just immediately go and push out the side lanes.
Yeah. Looks like they'll be able to take 3 of the bounties as well if this Troll rotates up and gets the one on his side of the river in about 5 seconds or so.
And that's going to further that net worth lead even that little bit more. Troll already having picked up the full Mjolnir as well.
Is a great conductor.
Yeah, he's going to do a lot of damage.
What are your thoughts on Nando focusing the Troll at the start of these fights? Do you think that's just to try and minimize the amount of damage he's doing just by stealing that those stats from him? Or do you think he's actually actively trying to kill him?
I think that's just the one target that is actually being offered by CDEC.
Well, they could afford to, right? He had the Aegis, so he didn't really worry too much, and the Battle Trance, and the Oracle save.
I really think he should. I guess the supports were already kind of caught, but I would have liked to see the Slark maybe just run down the Oracle. Like, Oracle survived. He ulted himself and just ran away. So, and then he got a bunch of nice purges off and a disarm. Yeah, once again, Grims. Okay, not going to get stomped, but I think he's still dead. Yeah, double edge plus some auto attacks, bring him down. Rubik not going to go for the blink, does pick up a fairly quick Yules, gets Force Staff forward looking for some kind of a catch, won't quite be able to find it. This Razor is now more farmed than the Puck, but still not sure how scary he's actually going to be in fights as CDEC now looking to take the high ground. Pipe getting popped, keeping their creep wave alive. And the tier 3 tower falling pretty quickly. Puck didn't jump out. He gets lifted and he's now dead for 50 seconds. Does have a buyback available, but CDEC showing no signs of stopping as they continue working on this tier 3. Do they continue going for Axe though?
Why not? You know, you got to force the buybacks if you can. They're trying to go in and
Alright, Slark's in the back line. This time around he looks for the Oracle, but there's the immediate Force Staff away. They are going to pop down the Dream Coil. Troll getting saved. He's got the Battle Trance. He's got the Oracle ulti. The False Promise going to heal him a lot once he comes back out of this one. Slark has already used pretty much all of his cooldowns, and Troll still looking healthy. Stampede gets popped. They know that this Razor is isolated in the backlines, and they want him. They get him with the stomp. They've got him with the auto attacks, and OD brings him down.
Still trying to go out the back with the supports. They might have just blinked him there. Oh, it is nighttime. That's probably his one reprieve, but it just leaves the racks completely open and now be taken by this 5-man lineup. No one dying on CDEC, and the Puck dieback really going to punish him.
There's just too many saves. Yeah. They've got too many different ways to keep heroes alive. They don't even have this Aegis and the Troll Warlord anymore, but the False Promise is such a nice combination.
And they even overlapped them that time, right? They used the Battle Trance and the False Promise at the same time.
I guess they get the double healing off.
They get the double healing, I suppose, but if you're going for full longevity, which is what I feel CDEC's strategy is, they're very happy with that. You know, they're always going to win the long game.
And that's normally where Slark is supposed to be good, right? These drawn-out fights, but unfortunately, he's just being forced to pop his long cooldowns
at the very start.
Right at the very start, yeah. It's like we see Shadow Dance and BKB getting used within like the first 10-15 seconds, and at that point, he can't keep going.
Well, he's the one being forced to start these fights. That's the big issue.
Yeah, you always come back to the initiation.
I hate to sound like a broken record, right?
But I think it's a totally fair point. That they don't have that But then we have to talk about the Razor pick, right? Like, the Razor was supposed to be this counter to the... Well, and then we have to go even one step further back and talk about the Ember pick. Like,
I think the Ember is more of the issue than the Troll. Than the Razor, sorry. I think Razor in lane was fine. There's just only so much of an
But do you
extent
like
that
the
can
Razor
do.
as an offlaner? Because he's that offlane position is normally going to be your main initiator.
You can, but they had the opportunity to make their Ember Spirit.
Oh, Slark getting caught out. There's the Shadow Dance. He's got the BKB. All right, BKB TP will be successful. But that's a bunch of cooldowns getting popped just to survive.
Yeah, again, that BKB would be down to at least, I'd say 7 seconds.
Yeah, he's not having a very good time. He gets the Pounce Leash talent, but as we've seen, there's already a couple of Force Staffs to break that, so... And OD now going for the Hex, not too far away from that. Slark still has decent net worth. And Scotty also going to be nice, but still continuing to see him struggle to actually get any of these kills in fights.
I really do like that Skadi itemization though, you know, it gives him that additional layer of survivability, not only from the HP perspective, but also giving him that little bit of intellect, means that he's not quite as susceptible to the OD using the sanity.
For sure. And, or even just not getting oomed by the auto attacks and the Sanity's Eclipse coming through.
But again, the pressure just keeps on mounting. Nando doing his best to try and force a rotation back from CDEC, but they're on the warpath.
He's trading decently, though. And they do actually get the Troll rotation back, so nice move from Nando. Can they actually catch him? Rubik TP's in, but won't be able to find him, and does buy his team a little bit more breathing room, but does feel like it's Slark against the world at this point, kind of.
Moves back, can use his Midas now. He's in position to secure the bounty runes on the right side of the map.
That's a really nice move. Just keeping bottom lane pressured like that, but CDC, you have to imagine they were waiting for the Hex. They're maybe waiting for the next Roshan. Do you think Cignal can contest Rosh if it comes to it?
I really want to see what items this Ember Spirit has, because I think that'll be a big tell about what they can actually do.
I think he's almost got a Maelstrom, but that's about it.
Well, what does that do in fights? I feel like they've got a decent amount of damage. Do you need more? Or is it better to actually have some
they're looking from here. There's Stomp. Damage. Not even forced to use the Hex. They've got enough just with the auto attacks. The Arcane Orb absolutely shredding the Ember at this stage.
Yeah, that Glimmer Cape from the CM, not enough to save
Oh,
time.
and I like this as well from CDEC. They force the mid-wave in, and they immediately head for this bottom lane of Rax. Plenty of damage from the Centaur, and Nando isn't in position just yet to threaten. They get the jump in. Crystal Maiden already dead. Now the Hex onto the puck. That might be all she wrote here, Matt. That's 3 dead for nothing as Slark not even coming back. Razor's BKB being forced out now. Nothing that he can really do against the OD. Slark's still looking for the trade, but Troll Warlord always going to be that little bit faster. And that is a second lane of Rax coming up for CDEC. And even if Nando gets the spot lane of Rax, that's all he can get. There's still tier 2 standing in both of the other lanes. So CDEC just going to rotate over.
They're going for the full set.
Look for the Megas.
Even now, Nando, he has rotated back. He's going to try and contest this as much as he can, but it's going to be a 5v3 until 20 seconds time.
Trying to build up some stacks. BKB comes out, that's the first cooldown. They do have the link over on the Troll, but once again, these Force Staffs are just so valuable this game. Nice two-man chains. BKB going to get popped. Shadow Dance coming out. Troll still saving the ultimate. Doesn't want to use the Battle Trance just yet, and now Slark low on cooldowns, but neither team really has BKBs. Sanity's Eclipse just doing way too much damage. OD going to imprison himself. Saves the life for a little bit, as now they try and come back in. They've still got the False Promise. Nice jump in, coiled. What can they actually do? Ember dropping in all of his damage, but they're just a little bit too survivable on the side of CDC. They will finally bring down the Troll. OD once again back out into this fight as Razor doing a decent amount of work. Van with the triple kill. Chasing after this is OD, but he does have a Hex off cooldown in 5 seconds time. Nice light chains catching, but dodging a lot of the damage with that imprisonment. He's looking for the turnaround now, but it's Razor with the ultra kill. Van actually turning around that fight beautifully, and Cignal hanging on in this game, at least by a thread.
Yeah, hanging on by a thread, the tip of a thread, basically. They lose everything except those last 2 racks. Tier 3's down as well. I mean, it's a 17k net worth lead. You know, really well done to him to be able to turn that around. I think just Nando staying in for maybe 2-3 seconds too long. It means that they weren't actually able to fight as 5. It was always a fight where they were down, you know, in numbers in some way.
And they put some buybacks into that as well. So next fight, a little bit easier because the Razor's going to have the Shivas, but also a little bit more difficult because
Constant lane pressure.
yeah, no longer have those buybacks to rely on.
I think maybe now Cignal kind of need to go an all-in style. You know, they need to be the one to try and take the Roshan before CDEC can.
They can't let them have it, right?
No.
If they let them have the Rosh at this point, that's just going to be game over for sure.
It's guaranteed mega creeps minimum if they let them have the Rosh.
And they're not necessarily amazing at holding off megas on Cignal either.
Yeah, I mean the Maelstrom will help on the Ember Spirit, but pretty cheeky.
Oh, Rubik's got this Blink Dagger now, so the initiation is even better.
I feel like this CM is just getting bursted way too quickly. She hasn't got any of the braces, so you know the pure HP as well as the magic resist aren't coming into play at all. Now you've got the Satanic, so that's just another layer of survivability, and that was a really fast Roshan respawn time as well.
I just don't know how valued the Arcane Aura has been this game. I don't think it's really made the heroes on Cignal's team farm that much faster. They are going to go for the smoke, looking for the contest. Slark also coming over. He's going to be coming in from the other side, maybe checking that opposite high ground, looking for the supports. Roshan has taken quite a lot of damage, down around 1/3 HP. They do get the chains out onto one. Nando, who can he find? It's actually the OD on that high ground. The support's being protected by the big boys. They're not going to let the supports be exposed to the Slark.
He's hiding in the ancient stack.
Hiding in the ancient stack. Okay, jump in, catch the stomp onto the Crystal Maiden, get the lift follow-up, also looking for the Ember. They're splitting their disable a little bit, and Crystal Maiden actually surviving for a little bit longer, does some okay freezing field damage. The BKB getting forced out of the Troll Warlord, he's running back, but he's lost 200 damage. Razor might be able to clean this up. Rubik does have the freezing field stolen, but he can't actually use it. He gets brought down, and James does not have a buyback available. Slark looking for the disengage, but he will get stomped down. How much can the Troll Warlord actually do, though? He's not doing any damage. But fortunately, he still has a little bit of lockdown and a couple of procs. They take that 271 damage over to the mid lane, and they will take out the tier 1 tower. But can they fight without their Slark? OD, 4 shots to the Ember Spirit, brings him down. And Troll just straight back into the pit, looking to finish this off with his Satanic.
Yeah, he's got that free Roshan now, edging closer and closer to that level 25 as well, nearly hitting 24. Razor, he's 24 as well, so maybe that can be a way that they have this one last final defense, but I think they're going to get there in a minute's time.
Yeah, Puck is desperately trying to cut these waves, but I mean, they even glyphed their creep wave just to make sure that they can get this backdoor protection disabled and take out the final lane of Rax.
Here we go, Centaur even cutting the wave even further, making sure that they're not going to be contested by any sort of creep wave except for the one spawning in about 8 seconds. Even now.
Another Hex onto the Puck. They get one uphill miss. Glimmer Cape helping to keep the Puck alive, but Troll Warlord already onto the Rax.
They just need to resign themselves.
No time.
This is Megas. Like,
yeah. Glyph comes out, but
I don't know about that.
I just don't see how they stop this.
I would much rather save that for a tier 4, so at least you can have that.
Oh, and now they got the lift onto the Razor. Won't even be able to get the BKB off. He's focused down. Does have a buyback available, but still. Razor dead. Mega is claimed. And CDEC looking even for a little bit more.
There we go. Here's the last fight.
Jump in, stomp, and caught one. Puck dead. Buys back immediately. Slark in the backline, pops the BKB, looking to auto attack onto the OD, looks towards the Troll, but the 4 stabs, getting him out of harm's way. He turns around and he gets the lockdown. The bash is there. They've lost the Slark. The Sanities gets dropped. Triple kill for your Troll Warlord. And Nando has had enough. He's going to throw in the towel, and GG is called.
I think that just has to go back to the draft. It was the exact same what we were predicting. They just didn't really have the same level of balance that CDEC had on Cignal's side. But for their credit, it's a best of 3. They're not out of it yet.
That's true. Still a little bit of a chance. But of course, you want to win this semifinal. You want to go to the grand finals. You want to be guaranteed in the money. And this is a really difficult way to start it off. CDC's lineup was just so easy to play.
Yeah.
It was easy to play, and they played it really well.
They
James
executed.
had some fantastic moves.
Yeah. I think Oracle was MVP of that game, honestly. He set up the laning stage. He made sure that that Ember Spirit was a complete non-factor in the game. It was like Cignal were playing with 4 heroes instead of 5.
Yeah, every single time the Slight Chains would come out, there's just an immediate purge.
Yeah.
They had the lockdown.
Even the CM slows and the Frostbite gone, just like that.
That's true.
You know, so really well played by CDEC, avenging their loss in the group stage.
That's true.
Now it's technically 1-1, but it is a 1-game lead so far for CDEC. Can they take it out in game 2, do you reckon? Or do you think we'll go to 3 games?
I want to see Cignal with a different draft.
Yeah.
I think they can put up more of a fight than we saw in this game.
Yeah.
We don't necessarily know how that win happened in the
True.
group stage, so I think some of that context could be playing in here as well. They're like, oh, we want these heroes, or we want to bait out specific heroes from CDEC so we can counter them. But overall, CDEC just looked like the better team, right?
Yeah.
They were this close to qualifying to TI, and I know that stings to say.
Not so loud. They're just back there.
Yeah,
it might be
I
stinging
know.
a little bit.
That's true. They are actually just right behind us. But yeah, they were this close. They were a really good team. So long as they can just shake that off a little bit.
Yeah.
I really thought that they were the favorites coming into this, and I think if they get to the grand finals, they can give likely newbie a run for their money. We'll see. Maybe Hippomaniacs. They've had some time to study some replays.
Yeah.
Come up with a strategy, but
Could do. And I'm sure the local fans would be hoping for a China v China grand final. That'd be great to see.
Yeah, over on the main stage.
Yeah.
We're still pretty packed today, actually. Still a decent number of people. There weren't so many when we first arrived this morning.
It's a Saturday morning.
It's a Saturday morning. People are going to chill out.
Yeah.
I think people have seen a lot of the other booths and exhibits and stuff that are going on. So people are now maybe more here for the games. People coming in for their favorites for all the semis and all the final action.
I really got to try that robot game.
I want to try the robot game so bad.
It's tempting. Ganker X, I think, is what it's called. So look it up.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
There is a spot to try it, right? That's
Yeah.
over that way somewhere.
All right, we got to head to that after this best of 3 series. That's what we'll do
For sure.
because we got a bit of time between. So
So we're going to be off, and then they have the other semifinal
newbie
being
Hippo.
played on is that on the Game Sports stage?
This one here.
Oh, okay, it's this one right here.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so the second
In front of us.
the
You
sub-
guys can't see
the
it, so.
substage. Yeah, you guys can't see it.
But it looks
there's-
really nice. There's spectators turning out. I think they were playing Crossfire just then. No, StarCraft. They were playing
Okay.
StarCraft just
Yeah.
then. So.
Yep, and then we'll have it'll be Chobra and Lyrical covering that one.
Yeah. I want to hear Chobra play-by-play.
Actually, yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, that'd be pretty
Well,
cool.
we'll have to tune into the stream.
Yeah. No, we can... Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
We're in China.
It's
I keep forgetting.
it's the Chinese casters who are going over the
The
PA.
loudspeakers,
It just makes sense.
Yes, absolutely it does. I wonder what it's going to be like at TI. Like what system they've got set up for that. Because
I don't
you
know,
would think
man.
the
I really-
loudspeakers would have it.
I really hope that they have like the option to have the little radio set
think
up
they should.
and like hooked into the English casters.
I think they
but
will.
It does. We were even talking about this the other day. Like, what's going to happen with what's going on in the stage?
Is Casey going to be
Is
there?
Casey still going to be there? Are Casey and Slack still going to be wandering around? Like, they're not really going to be able to do the same level of audience interaction that we know from past TIs. This TI could feel really different. But we're in Australia, so we're on the perfect time zone to
only
catch
2
all of the
hours
action.
behind. It's
Who
beautiful.
cares about everything else? I just care about the game.
Yeah, that is true.
That's where the real hype is.
Well, I'm actually a little bit excited about seeing, like, does China have a Slacks? Because we
True.
don't really get
China
too
loves
much.
Slacks,
Yes.
apparently. So I think we might be seeing Slacks in some of the
Yeah, they'll grab
some of
him
the
and
China
say,
content.
Look,
yeah.
you're doing some of this with us.
I hope they're paying him well
Yes.
this year. Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be like a clown for them, basically.
Oh God.
But I don't know. I'm really excited to see because that's the big thing that a lot of people from the West say is that, like, oh, we wish we really had more exposure to stuff that's happening in the East, with,
True.
personalities and that sort of thing. We saw personalities happen with Newbie, SCCC, with Wings. A lot of people
That's
really
true.
like them. ROTK. Like,
Maybe
as
this
soon
is
as
this is an opportunity to get to know the Chinese scene a little bit better.
Absolutely.
I want Jack's corner back.
Yes.
He's
That'd be
Unfortunately,
really
he
cool.
has other obligations.
Other
perhaps,
obligations,
but
yeah.
That for a TI in Shanghai, I feel like that's what we need.
Yeah. I mean, there's going to be so much to do, though, in Shanghai. There's so much space, so many opportunities for little skits and that sort of thing. I think it's going to be a really good
Did you get to see much of the city when you were there?
Yeah, it was really good.
last
Really
time?
beautiful. Really green. I was surprised. Like, it was really, really green. Lots of parks and, nice place to be. The metro system's really cool, too. Just takes you everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome. We're filling for time, if you didn't realize.
Yeah. We can't go to break until the
Until we get the magic words.
So, yeah, we're just been hanging out. Xi'an's been nice.
Mm-hmm.
We're heading. Well, you're heading back tomorrow.
Yes.
I still have one more day, so I'll have the opportunity to come and hang out here in my casual clothes and watch the grand finals.
Yeah.
That'll be pretty nice.
Oh, the
hopefully
arena itself is really cool.
The main stage is super hype.
Yeah. I wonder if they'll have a closing ceremony as well. Because I hear the opening one was pretty good.
I didn't get to see it.
Yeah, I saw little clips of it.
Did they trot out all the players as well? Did they have
with like flags and stuff?
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. Like the Olympic style.
Yeah, that's always neat.
Yeah. And isn't it? Is it Beijing that are doing the Winter Olympics in like? Is that
2022?
2024, I think. Maybe I'm mistaken.
I can only remember it because we had a beer, and the beer
2022.
The beer had an ad.
Yeah.
For the Winter Olympics.
Yeah. I feel like it's 2022 because Japan is 2020 Summer Olympics.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Got it.
Got to figure out because 2022 is not divisible by.
I just because I know Beijing is 2008.
Because it's always divisible by 4, right?
I know Beijing was 2008 Summer Olympics, so I just add 4s onto that, and I'm like, okay, 22 doesn't fit with that.
Yeah, because it's on the Winter Olympics is 2 years offset.
Correct.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And what was the last one?
What is your favorite Winter Olympic event?
Snowboard cross. I really like, where they're going down like like the obstacle course, basically, that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And just the half pipe as well, I think is really cool. The aerials is really cool.
Yeah,
where they just go off the big,
all the big ski jumps.
The vertical ones.
That's where
I want to see flips, you know?
Yeah. Those are super cool.
I also want to see Child Invoker. Let's go.
Yeah.
Child Invoker.
We might be seeing Child Invoker, but to figure that out first, we're going to have to get to our second game, and before that, we're going to go to a break. Game number 2 of Cignal Ultra versus CDEC. Got Danog here with me once again.
Thanks, man. Well, I'm hoping for a game 3 because despite the actual result, we saw some great individual plays in that first game there by both CDEC and Cignal Ultra. So I think Cignal can turn it around. I think maybe they need to stop their reliance on a few certain heroes.
They need a better draft.
We need a better draft. Nando plays the Slark really well, but I feel like it's made them a little bit predictable. In that we've seen it multiple times so far.
Yeah, I think they've relied on Nando really hard carrying the games for them, and I don't know if that kind of 1v5 is necessarily going to be possible against CDEC. The other thing is that I think Cignal have used the Undying a decent amount.
Yep.
And that is a hero that CDEC understand inside and out, and are also willing to ban, as it turns out. So, is this pretty much the same opening, except for the Centaur being banned?
Except for the Centaur, yeah, that's a little bit different.
Okay.
I think there was... Maybe the ordering was a little different, but yeah.
Please don't first overall Crystal Maiden. Oh, no.
They have a strategy in mind.
All right.
Go the Bristleback. It'll work.
I guess just show me something that uses the CM better than what they had last game. I really don't think that their lineup utilized CM like particularly well.
I mean, what are things that would use it well? I feel like Mars uses it pretty well.
Yeah, Mars, Storm,
well, of course.
Zeus.
Yeah, I think that's going a little bit too heavy into the magic side of things, though.
They don't need to pick all of them. I'm just saying pick one of these.
No. You know what I'm saying, though, right? Like, even just CM and Zeus, I think, is a little bit too far. They're just useless when BKB's pop.
Yeah, that's true. Well, Grim Shaman, this is a very nice combo. So James is going to be playing the Shadow Shaman running around.
You would think, yeah. It's a bit of a throwback as well. Like, this is one of the first combos that we saw all the time as soon as Grimstroke
came out. With the Grimstroke,
yeah.
Double Hex, double Shackle, and the Ether Shock is crazy value as well. Yeah. Double Ether Shock across the entire team, enemy team potentially, is a huge amount of damage.
Yeah, we've seen James is no slouch at pumping out a lot of burst damage. You know, we've seen it with, we saw with the Rubik there. He was obviously stealing the Crystal Nova a fair amount of times. With the Arcane Supremacy, it does so much more damage. And he's played the Lina in the past before. So I think maybe if they had the first pick, they might have first picked the Lina. But not just with this one. They want to make sure that it's not falling into the hands of Cignal.
Do you feel like the position 4 meta has kind of become very much about the, like more about the ranged 4s than it used to be in the past? We're seeing more Lina, more Rubik, more Shaman. CDEC especially are doing it, which is why I'm kind of raising the point, but Like, do you think the melee position 4s are still viable? Like your Shaker and your Tiny. I guess James makes Tiny look amazing.
Yes,
actually.
he does.
But they haven't been playing it.
We've seen a few people make Shaker look amazing as well. You know, FY probably the most well-known. Jerax as well. We saw his TI Grand Finals last year. But it's a very different time right now. I don't mind the Tidehunter paired with the CM. It lets you get off a lot of anchor smashes. Or we could see this really weird Tidehunter build where it's like a position 4, you go into the Gush and try and harass that way. I mean, it's not out of the question. We saw the Ember Spirit for Cignal, and we've seen that this is the way they kind of like to draft, is the supports at the very start.
I like the swing back as well. So like last game, they just didn't really have a whole lot of team fight outside of the Dream Coil, right? Now they've got some actual team fight in their lineup between the CM and the Tide.
And they don't have to worry as much about everything being purged off by an Oracle as well, because you would have to think that these are the 2 supports that CDEC
are going to run with. For sure. Shadow Shaman I just don't think is viable in the core role at all.
Maybe
anymore.
mid. Maybe mid.
There's a small chance.
Yeah. Like 2%.
Yeah, I'll give you 2%. But Jug Band, okay.
I mean, technically it's 50%, right? Like, it's either mid or it's not.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
There's only 2 options. Well, CDEC are like, well, you didn't do that well with the Ember Spirit last time, but just in case, we're going to get rid of it.
Yeah. Might still give it a little bit of respect as like a core hero. Could also be that they just want, whatever they're looking to pick mid.
I feel like that PL reveals a lot more about what they want to pick.
Yeah,
here we go.
They just want Wraith King.
Yeah.
So we did see in the China regionals, Wraith King getting punished pretty heavily in lane by like stuff like Tide. I even saw Tide plus Disruptor do really, really well against the Wraith King in lane because Wraith King has 2 base armor. So once you gush him, he actually just takes so much right-click damage. And the Tidehunter is pretty good against the skeletons. Like, he doesn't take damage because of the Kraken Shell. The Anchor Smash cleans them up really quickly. But the Wraith King Grimstroke is a pretty deadly laning combination. So Cignal got to make sure that they get the right kind of position 4 hero to do some okay damage.
I really feel like they're going to pick the Slark again here on Cignal and go into a Diffusal Blade.
Yeah. I could see that.
I don't want them picking a Pango for this, just because of the Grimstroke being there.
Dazzle. Okay, that's a strong position 4 hero.
Is it position 4 as well, is the question.
Yeah, it could also be maiden 4, or it could be mid. There are options here. I like this Dazzle pickup, though.
It can go 2, 3, or 4, really, this Dazzle.
Yeah.
I think we saw it, was it Matumba Man picked it in for Chaos in his qualifiers.
Oh, was it? I didn't get to watch EU because I was...
You were sleeping?
Yeah, I was sleeping after working the China shift.
Oh, we haven't seen Doom in a while either.
Okay.
And you talk about low armor, that's definitely a way to get punished by the Tidehunter.
Yeah. Well, but Doom Grimstroke and the Doom against the Tide, if you Doom him before he gets the Ravage off. And Cignal are going to... Okay, so they still want Nando to super carry this game. They are going to go for the Naga Siren. Certainly a good hero against the Wraith King. Cignal's draft this game looks 100 times better than the previous game, gotta say.
Do you think this is going to be like a 4 Protect 1 style? Like, is Nando just being left on his own and this Dazzle being so strong in the early game, they're just going to try and rush him down? They got a lot of slows on their team.
Yeah, I do think you try and just let the Naga farm. My big question this game is where the Dazzle is going, because he's got synergy with both lanes. He's got the Poison Touch synergy with the Gush, but then he's also got Shadow Wave synergy with the Naga Siren. So I'm thinking that Dazzle is likely playing in the off lane, but it's not a 100% guarantee.
I feel like he's mid.
You think he's mid?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because you want to make sure that he's got a decent amount of farm, that when he does start to join these team fights, he's got a really high impact item, like Guardian Greaves or something like that, that you really need to just increase the survivability of the rest of your team.
I don't know if it's an easy Dazzle mid game though. I think they might just go on him and kill him. I guess they do have like Ravage and Song to be able to disengage, but
I mean, you've got until 10 minutes, right, to farm, and I think you can get a good amount of farm as Dazzle. It's really easy to harass out with that Poison Touch as well before that point.
Yeah, I wonder if CDEC, I guess they get to see Cignal's pick, so Cignal are going to have to make up their minds about whether or not it's mid before they know what
where's the initiation signal? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, that's true. They've got like Song
there it is.
And and whatnot.
That'll
Well,
do.
this still doesn't answer the question, right? Because it could still be tiny mid or dazzle mid. So
That's what you want. You want to be ambiguous.
true.
But it does give them initiation, right?
What is CDEC going to do against this Naga? Do they? I don't know if they even consider picking Pangolier. I don't know if mid Pangolier is much of a China
10 seconds
thing.
remaining.
It's not much of a China thing in general, really.
The Pango, yeah.
I mean, you can deal with it relatively well just with the Grimstroke Shadow Shaman, right? Like, if you get that,
Yeah, that's pretty good.
that Soulbind off.
They would have taken the Leshrac for sure if it had been left in the pool. So heads up ban from Cignal. But CDEC, what do they now go for? I don't know, just like a
Can they go as Zeus?
Zeus could be okay. Death Prophet might get picked, but ooh, Storm Spirit.
Storm's alright.
Your heroes.
Okay, there's not too much lockdown. Well, there's some lockdown for him.
Root, Tiny, Avalanche, and Toss, that's about it.
Yep.
The rest of it's just slows. And Ravage, but you typically aren't getting picked off by a Ravage.
Did you see who was playing what
Spirit.
on the?
I didn't, it was too quick.
Okay, it was Kim Elizabeth, which I think is their mid player
Yeah.
on the tiny.
He was playing the Puck last time.
Yeah, so I think he's on the tiny, so it's tiny mid. Didn't see if Dazzle was 4 or 5, if Grims was playing it
Yeah.
or not, but ooh,
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I feel like he's maybe even a 3, Tidehunter 4.
could be.
Yeah.
I like Signal's draft
Better.
more than the previous game, but I'm not sure.
Is
if
it good
it's-
enough?
Is it good enough for me to pick them? Is the thing.
All right. How about this? We can see who's laning where, and
Okay.
then we can decide.
Okay, all right. Well,
I think that's fair.
see the laning setup and then make predictions.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm down with that for sure.
But purely on the draft itself, probably CDEC. Just on the draft. Nothing else.
Yeah.
Like, if it's in a vacuum.
Do you like the Storm Spirit pick this game? Do
Yeah.
you feel like it's a good?
I mean, it can deal with the Naga illusions.
there
reasonably.
is some lockdown for it though. Like you got to be wary of the net, tiny combo. So there's a few different things to be afraid of. But okay, let's see what we got going on here. So
All right. Mando, yeah, obviously.
okay, so it's 4 Maiden, 5 Dazzle. They're going for the Dazzle plus Naga lane synergy.
Yeah, I guess that works. You can heal
Oh.
bomb really easily. Oh, maybe not. Who knows? Everyone's
Okay, I
rotating
think
through
based
the same.
on that, I might be favoring CDEC here.
Yeah.
Because I just don't think the Wraith King is going to get all that punished. And I think Storm Spirit's going to end up having an okay game. And I do think that Nando is a good player, but I don't think he's going to solo carry this. So unless the Tiny has an amazing game, I really think CDC have this.
30
Their late game is
seconds
so
to
good,
battle.
actually. The Double Doom, Storm 25, like, they've really got some scaling potential.
Wraith King just living through everything.
Yeah, that as well. Yeah, Wraith King doesn't really care so much about these big long cooldowns like the Ravage. Alright, they're looking for a move here, but the small camp's already been blocked. They're already being scouted out, so CDEC just going to try and get both of the top ones. Maybe sack one of these bottom bounties, potentially. Oh, a little bit of body blocking. And it is going to be 2-2. Okay. Nice, nicely done by the Crystal Maiden. Gets the...
That Tidehunter as well. He's going to get gone on a little bit.
Oh my god, this Crystal Maiden, look at the inventory.
mangoes.
He's got 6 mango. He's got 7 mangoes.
Who's getting the first blood though?
Yeah, are they going to give it to Nando? Okay, yeah, Nando grabs it. Nice. This is look at this from the.
That is a lot of harass.
That is a ton of harass.
I want to check how much regen they actually have on this Wraith King and the Grimstroke.
Are they prepared for this level of firepower?
So he's got 4 tangos on the Grim. How much is there on the Wraith King? That's really
He
what
probably
I'm-
has like double tango and a salve maybe at the most.
It's going to be difficult
Oh my
for
god,
him
yeah,
regardless.
Wraith King already taking a ton of damage.
Yeah, having to use a salve already. Well, it's a good strategy. It's like the Abaddon build, right? Just go full mangoes.
Yeah, just completely spam out your lane.
And you've got the luxury of, you know, not having to get all too close to the wave, so you're not going to be taking too much damage. You can actually deny yourself to the tier 2 tower and not have that that 30-second buffer still on you and give credit to the enemy heroes.
I just really hope that he doesn't go too many points on Arcane Aura. I don't like that build.
I mean, with a tiny, it's okay, right?
It might be all right. I think 2 points is fine. I don't want to see 1-1-3.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Like, 2 points is really good for yourself and good for your team. Anything after that, I think, and you're wasting some of Crystal Maiden's early game potential.
I don't think he needs it for himself either, right? With this itemization that he's got, he could just spam out as much of it as possible.
He's going to run out of mangoes eventually.
Eventually. I'll just buy more, you know? They're on special.
But no refunds.
No refunds, no. Never. Ice Frog won't have that.
No.
Oh. It's nice to be able to get. Do they have... No, they don't have a Poison Touch ticking right now on this Doom, so he's able to just stay away for now. Coming back in with the Ether Shock skilled up by the Shadow Shaman. He's also got level 2, so he can maybe get a shackle onto someone here if they're out of position.
But Naga's farming well. All 3 lanes do pretty even farm. Yeah, they're actually just dropping low here. Going for the TP out will just barely be successful for James. They do get harassed out pretty heavily.
Why wouldn't they turn onto the Doom there? That seems really weird. It's a really vulnerable position.
Damage on the Wraith King. Summons up the skeletons. They do get the Ink Swell pop. Wraith King retreating for the trees. One more auto attack from this Crystal Maiden is going to get it. Tidehunter not caring about those skeletons in the slightest. And more autos from the CM. Still chasing, but alright, doesn't want to go any further.
She's nearly hitting her level 3 as well, so that's going to buff up her. What's she choosing to go? She's gone into the Arcane Aura. So just realizing that it did take a fair amount of resources to get that kill, and I mean, it's okay that she died. She just wants to actually regen her mana pool, right?
I guess. It really sucks to level the second point in Arcane Aura and then immediately die, yeah. That hurts. And alright, Crystal Maiden. Bottle delivery system. Now this is going to help keep Tiny in this lane. He's doing okay, but Storm's still farming nicely. Doom in some danger, but Tidehunter up top just going to get crit down even before the Ink Swell can pop. And Doom still being chased, but he makes it underneath the tower.
They're keeping the Poison Touch on him though.
Yeah, it looks like he's probably going to live. Just barely.
That Devour really coming in handy with
the Ring of Protection as well. I think he needed that little bit of an extra armor boost. Seems like maybe some action at top. Battle for this bounty. Well, not for the bounty, but for the Invis rune.
Feels like this Naga's doing really well relative to the Doom. 25 last hits versus 13.
For sure.
You are going to be able to catch up somewhat with the Devour there, but definitely not to the extent that you would want in an ideal scenario.
That is the early game strength of the Dazzle, right?
CM will be able to slow him down as well, but Tiny at the same time getting gone on.
Yeah. Tiny going for kind of the max nuke build is opting to max out the at-once. They're going on the Crystal Maiden. He is in some danger, but the Wraith King also taking damage in return. Stick Charge is actually going to help keep him alive. Is that Phantom Embrace going to pop? It will not. Don't have damage
on the Grimstroke though.
Everyone's
able to turn that.
Everyone's traded a lot, but they still want bounties. Doom deciding if it's worth dying for the bounty rune.
It is not. No. He probably would have died before, honestly.
I think so, yeah. So it actually ends up being, is that 3 all day for Cignal? Yeah, Gribbs gets both of the bottom ones.
Yeah.
This Dazzle pick working wonders against the Doom Shaman lane.
Dazzle's always going to do great in the early game, though. It's how they transition it later on to be the deciding factor.
Oh, for sure.
And Shrine's back up online again. I think they're grouping up now to use it in the Dire jungle. Grimstroke to be back up to full mana.
And okay, James has given up on the bottom lane. Now rotating over to top to try and make something happen. Put a little bit more pressure on this Tide, perhaps. And just leaving the Doom to kind of solo at bottom. But that's going to be huge amounts of farm for this Naga Siren, just being left completely on her own.
Here we go. They know where this Tidehunter is.
I think they want the Crystal Maiden. Who do they actually want?
Well, they're going to need the... oh, here we go. Wraith King is coming through. That's a kill.
Yeah, they got more than enough nuke damage here. And Ping's going across. They're also going to try and find Crystal Maiden. Just going to hide in the trees. 6-minute rune has spawned bottom. It is an Arcane. They see it, but Storm going to beat him to the punch with the zip. And unfortunately, Dazzle wasn't quite there in time to pick it up himself. So that is going to be an Arcane rune and a full bottle refill for the Storm Spirit. Head into the jungle to grab a little bit more farm as they continue trying to pressure top. The Tide's a little bit tankier this time around, but they're still going for it. They've got the Phantom Sprays over on him, so he couldn't get the Anchor Smash off. Finally pops it now. They do clean up the skeletons, but That is going to be still an easy kill for CDEC as they've got the skeletons and the catapult now to be able to push this.
Creep wave all the way down, so that's a lot of damage. Even diving deeper onto this CM.
Yep. Maiden wants to try and nuke the wave, but finding it difficult to approach the lane.
Power treads on the Naga?
That's pretty standard.
Yeah.
Standard farming item.
I just would have thought that maybe she just stayed the standard brown boots, at least for the very start. Maybe transition that into a boots of travel.
The standard build these days is very much like 3 Wraiths, Treads, Yasha or Diffusal, then Manta, and then
Skadi or Heart.
Yeah, Skadi, Heart, Butterfly, maybe Hex later on. The James choosing to rotate top worked wonders. He got 2 kills. They got 2 kills on the Tide. They got the tower. He's got his arcane boots now. Really good decision making to realize that, okay, this Dazzle's super strong. We can't fight him at bottom. Let's just give up on bottom lane and let's go apply some pressure elsewhere.
I think there's that, but there's also the fact that by that point, the Doom was high enough level that Devour was going to give him decent sustainability in the lane. He had his Ring of Protection picked up by then as well, so he doesn't have 0 armor.
I think the big thing is that they just didn't feel like they could get kills there, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, CDEC are a very kill-oriented team. There are some teams that are very happy to be, passive, just
trading.
farm up, trade, little death by 1,000 cut style. But CDEC definitely realized, look, we need to get kills. This is what fits our style the best.
All right, Storm getting avalanched, but he's going to find the double damage. Won't be able to pick it up. Dazzle's there in time, but now they've got Tiny trapped in the river, silenced up, shackled. Did you mention to get rid of the Phantom's Embrace? He's got the toss available. Can he get it off? He's getting chain stunned into the pull. Tiny, finally the Avatos combo comes out, and he cleans up the Storm, but he will end up losing his life. Support versus support battle, but CDEC disadvantaged. They're down here on the low ground. Shadow Shaman actually going to end up surviving, though. James finds a little hidey hole out of auto attack range. He's still got some stick charges. They need to be careful of the turnaround here. Inkswell coming in is only going to catch the one of them, but Dazzle still manning up. They lose the Crystal Maiden, and Dazzle will not be able to chase this kill as now Doom also coming over and getting involved.
Yeah, I think that could have worked out a lot better for Cignal if the CM actually used the Frostbite on the Shadow Shaman as he was using the shackles there, but
it doesn't interrupt anymore, right?
Yeah, but it still would have held her in place, allowed for the follow-up a lot easier.
Chasing after this Naga. Can they get the Inkswell stun? Yes, they do. Finish off that kill. They're looking for the Grimstroke turnaround, but he gets the Soulbind out of the 2. And now the Wraith King stun is coming up. Is this going to be in time? Great slow as well, just clipping. They don't get the double stun. Wraith King still diving, but only barely has the mana for his ultimate.
Just skilling it up as well, making sure he was making full use of his toolkit.
Yep. Well, they got a bunch of skeletons down here. This is going to be a decent push onto the tower. Tiny is rotating down. He's heading through the river. Still working towards his Blink Dagger. There are some low HP heroes here, so if he finds any of them, should be a pretty quick kill. Who's he going to walk into first? Tidehunter dies. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, we're going to keep our eyes bottom as we now look for this Tiny jump. Who can he find? Grave coming out. They want this kill on the Doom, but they can't quite get the full combo. It is still enough damage, and Kim Elizabeth will be able to grab that one as we have a mad scramble for the bounty runes. Looks like it will be 3 picked up for CDEC.
Yeah, so I think we're even for bounty runes across the board now. Obviously a bit better to get them later on into the game, and that for the Storm Spirit. He's got a couple of items sitting in his stash as well.
Did he just miss all 3 of those creeps? Okay, he gets the last one.
You got it.
He's going to go farm the jungle. I think there might be some very minor stacks set up for him already. And man, CDC, the aggression just never stops. They're looking for more. They want this Tiny once again. Kim Elizabeth feeling confident sitting up here in the lane, but 4-man gang immediately surrounding him. They do have the TP coming in from the Crystal Maiden, hoping for the turnaround. But what can he really do? He throws out one nuke, revealing his positioning here, and now kind of trapped on the bottom side of the map.
He's been layering those stuns a little bit, but they've just got so much lockdown on CDEC to be able to secure these kills.
Oh, Storm with the regen running. Wants to come up here and hold on to the tower, trying to figure out which one's the real Naga. Song does get forced out pretty much immediately.
Doesn't want to TP away though. She's just going to back up, farm that tri-camp area.
Do you think he even needed the Song there? I guess he was just a little bit afraid of the Storm.
The Storm and the Shadow Shaman TPing in.
I think that's one of those situations where you're giving the enemy team a lot of respect. Like, the Storm wouldn't be here if they couldn't kill me successfully. So it kind of gets mind-gamed into...
Maybe if he had an Arcane Rune, he could have been able to.
Yeah. He did have a full monopull, so maybe he's worried about getting chased down. Double Doom coming in, along with the double Soulbite and the double Hex. So much damage. Inkswell catching, and now it jumps over onto the Dazzle as well. They've got the Hex lockdown. Tiny, not even going to get out of this Doom before he falls. I know they found the Dazzle in the back line, jumping in his XM. That is going to be an easy 3 kills for CDEC, and they're just using all of their abilities so nicely so far this game.
And just timing everything perfectly as well. I mean, the amount of times that we've seen them make this rotation when the creep wave's in just the right position to then follow up on these team fights with a push onto the tower. It can't be coincidence. They're specifically making these timings so that the Wraith King's able to continue the push, so that you've got the snakes that can actually secure a tower. And that's a reason why they've got all the tier 1s taken and only have lost one so far.
And that's why they've got their 2K net worth lead as well, because they're just transitioning all of these kills into rotations.
The positive thing though, Nando is fairly easily top of the net worth, so there's going to be a point where he's going to start joining these fights, and it's really going to be a big turnaround for them. He's got the Diffusal Blade picked up, he's now going into the Manta style next, but could this Diffusal Blade be the thing that allows him to fight, or is it again just an accelerator?
I don't know, maybe against the Wraith King, I think it's, well, the Yasha farm's faster, for sure, but I think he does want to be able to apply some pressure, keep CDC on their toes, and maybe come join a fight with the Ravage, or something like that. Maybe he can fight against the Wraith King. They're fighting at bottom.
This Wraith King needs to be mindful. He's got his ultimate, but it's a lot of heroes to contend with.
Yeah, it's kind of a 4v4 at bot. Difficult for either of the heroes up top to TP out. They immediately find the Dazzle, looking to focus him down. He gets hexed up. Can he get the Grave out? He won't be able to. Tidehunter also silenced. Inkswell going to stun him up. He's still got the Phantom on him. He won't be able to pop the button. And now they look for more. Crystal Maiden caught it up on the high ground. Wraithfire Blast coming off cooldown. They've got more lockdown. James has the follow-up, and that is going to be yet again 3 kills easily for CDEC. Nando was looking for the Doom up in the top tree line.
So much space created by this Doom as well. You know, while the rest of his team is dying, I thought, well, maybe he'll try and TP through and save, but you know, Doom just able to use that one specific tree that you can cut and have so much juking capabilities.
Yep, ran straight out of there. Wraith King making fast progress towards the Radiance, which is certainly going to be annoying for the Naga. And at the rate that this Wraith King is farming, I'm not really sure if the Naga is going to be much of a counter to him, because he's going to get that level 20 pretty quickly this game, it feels like.
You would think. He was level 9 just when that encounter was starting, and that's why I was like, well, maybe now that the Diffusal Blade is up online, this is a great time to go on the Wraith King. You know, either you put the Reincarnate on cooldown for 200 seconds, or you just get an easy kill because he's got no mana pool.
Net, do they see the real Naga? They do. They pop the Doom out, but Naga's pretty fast. Can they actually catch this? Tiny comes in with the Avatos. That's the Blink Dagger revealed, and 1, 2, 3 bites the dust. Getting a little bit over eager there, just throwing out the Doom like that. No one in the neighborhood to really follow it up. Storm Spirit, I mean, still wants to get his Kaya delivered before he's making any crazy zips happen.
Yeah, and Bounty Rune's coming up as well.
Okay.
So Cignal really trying to secure this one, but oh, the range on that. Has he got the Aether Lens already?
I think he might. And damage coming through. All right, Tide does clean up the skeletons pretty easily, though.
And Wraith King should be getting very, very close to that level 12, so the opportunity cost of dying really isn't quite as high as soon as you hit that level 12.
Dire's top tower.
Okay, Nando does take out the top tower, still sitting at #1 on the net worth. Doing well.
Is there any other ultimate that has such a huge reduction in cooldown time relative to the Wraith King? Like 200 seconds to 120 is huge, and then to 40. I don't think there is.
No, I don't think so. But Wraith King's probably the biggest.
It just makes it such a value thing. Like, if you see a Wraith King sitting at a level 11 right before a team fight and maybe a tome is spawned, just give it to him. It just is such a big deal.
And he's almost got his relic picked up.
Yeah, has to be a little bit careful though. We've got a tiny rotation coming through here. The Dazzle should be able to pick him up with the Poison Touch, although he's going to be a little bit late.
Oh, that hurts. Maybe. Okay, so the big thing for me here is, do they feel confident in pressuring this tier 1 tower? Nicely done by Nando, does deny the haste turn away from the Storm Spirit.
The bot tier 1 tower.
I mean, they're showing the Naga at mid, but I think Nando's going to come and connect with them.
Yeah, he's got his Yasha at least now, so that's a lot of additional damage.
Wraith King still wants to fight this, though. They're going to be bringing heroes down.
We still haven't seen a Ravage, so I think they really want to utilize that.
And Doom is on cooldown. This could be a dangerous fight for CDEC to try and take. Storm Spirit also showing at mid. I think they're just trying to delay this for as long as possible. Not really looking for the fight unless they can get the Doom back off cooldown.
Let's see how Nando's micro is. Maybe he could have sent one into the trees just to make sure he wasn't getting picked off by the Shadow Shaman on the side. Tiny in good position to be able to turn around.
They want to try and jump the tide. Phantom's Embrace coming out. Do they have enough damage? They need to prevent the Ravage at all costs. Double Doom coming in. Double pull as well. It's too much. They've caught the Naga Siren out. Will not be able to escape. The Grave's going to buy a couple more seconds. Also the lockdown onto the Tidehunter. Such a perfectly timed initiation from CDEC. Getting that Soulbind through. They are going to lose one in exchange. James being brought down, but they also find the Dazzle up on the high ground. He's looking for the TP out, and he will be successful. Wraithfire Blast may be a bit premature, but still, what a hold from CDEC.
Yeah, just that great positioning coming through. Even the Tiny, he got a great initiation onto 3, getting the full Avatos combo off, but it just wasn't enough. As soon as you get that Soulbind off, combo it together with the Doom, the Electric Vortex as well, that was the real thing that secured it.
The other two cores got to do no damage in that fight, and we still have this Ravage yet to be used. The Tide got picked up really early in the draft. I liked the idea of the Tidehunter pick, but the Grimstroke and the Doom are making his life so difficult. Even if he doesn't get doomed, he's just he's either getting hexed and ignored or Phantom's Embraced and ignored.
He doesn't have too much survivability on his own. Like, yeah, he's got the Kraken Shell, but I think he's just gone a Vlad's and maybe a hood after that. Yeah. Well, I do like the Dazzle build, though. A couple of braces allows him to survive that little bit longer in these fights. It's always him that seems to be dying last, which is a good thing. You know, you've got that increased team fight sustainability. You're more likely to be able to get off a shallow grave, and you know, that bad juju stack can really start to ramp up. But
he would love to have some active items, though.
Yeah,
right, that's the thing about this new Dazzle with the cooldown reduction.
Even as a 5?
I think even having Arcane Boots would still be nice. Yeah. So this is the kind of situation that he's in.
Well, they're really desperate of being able to pick up this Tier 1 tower. I think they are going to be able to secure it this time.
Yeah, everything's on cooldown for CDEC.
It's just more space for them, though. They've got the Wraith King extremely close to picking up that Radiance. It's going to be probably just 1 or 2 more camps until he's able to finish it up.
I wonder if he's going to go the full anti-Naga build. Okay, doesn't have a Maelstrom queued up. It's just going into the BKB next.
Which is still pretty anti-Naga, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true. That's going to protect him during these mid-game fights while the Naga starts to hit her peak.
All right, here we go. Pipe. That's a big item to be able to stop a lot of this. But again, you got to make sure you don't get doomed.
Where are they heading? Looks like they might just find James. He's just farming over in the jungle. Smoke rotation coming through. They spot him. There is a shrine here. Can he get anything off? Throws out the Hex. Got a Shackle available as well, but Ben does get that kill.
Gives it through to Van as well, who, in all honesty, I think really needed it. The Tiny, I'm surprised at how much he's fallen off as well. You know, I think that was about the net worth that he was on 4 minutes ago.
We just haven't seen very many solo kills with the Blink Dagger, right? It feels like it was just the Doom at top, and that was about it. They are establishing some more vision over on the dire side of the map, so.
Yeah. A lot of credit of that has to be going to how the supports are actually working together. You know, they're not allowing these solo pickoffs to happen. There's always some form of counter-initiate, and you can see there the one time that he was actually on his own, James died.
Stupendous.
And it still took 4 heroes.
Yeah. It's going to get harder as well. Grimstroke's working his way towards a Glimmer Cape. Almost got it. Storm Spirit.
Bloodstone's
Man,
getting close.
this is going to be a fast Bloodstone.
Comboed with the Kaya as well.
Yeah, he's going to be scary. And they're just, we've seen this time and time again from these Chinese teams going for the multi-BKB timings. Doom doesn't even feel like he needs a blink this game, just wants the BKB to walk into the fight and get that double Doom off of the Soulbind. Tide, okay, maybe realizing that he needs to be able to get the Ravage off without having to sit first. So Blink Dagger is going to be coming up next.
It's taken him a while to figure it out, but I think it's going to be a big turnaround when they are able to have that. Does it mean that the Tiny has to go in first and then use the Ravage to counter-initiate? I think it might be that they're just forced to do that.
Yeah, I guess maybe they're going to need somebody to scout on the front lines. Maybe they can, once the Naga gets another item then they can just like kind of float the Naga or the Naga illusions to
I mean,
look for those
kind of,
scouting opportunities.
That's been what they've been doing, though, right? Like, they've been using the Tide as the frontliner and then having
But then he just dies.
the counter-initiate, yeah.
Actually, that's the thing. I guess what they need is that they need to just keep the Naga and the Tide split, right? Because even then, if the Tide gets gone on, they can just song and reset into a Ravage. So the fact that they got the double Doom on both of those targets was the biggest thing. Storm Spirit jumping in here at mid. Tiny pops the Arcane Rune, thinking about looking for some kind of a turnaround, but there's just too many heroes in the neighborhood for CDEC, so he blinks himself out of there.
Yeah, and little losses like that, it's not too big a deal. CM's going to be alive in 20 seconds. You don't want to expand to Tiny. He did use his Arcane Rune, though, a little bit prematurely. But I don't think it's going to be a game changer.
Well, Tide easily dealing with these skeletons. Actually going to leave it.
I love that sound.
Go on, just all of the...
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Okay, so CDEC just kind of circling for a little bit. Yeah, grabbing a little bit more farm.
BKB's coming up shortly for the Wraith King and the level 18 for the Storm Spirit.
Yeah, then Doom's already got his, right?
I want to see Shadow Shaman's items. What's he gone next after this Aether Lens? We've seen occasionally Shadow Shamans getting the BKB themselves, just to make sure that there's no way of them being interrupted when they're channeling that Shackles. Once it hits level 20, right, especially, you can just channel it for the entire fight. There's nothing they can do about it.
I don't believe we've seen what James is going for. Echo Saber for the Tiny, okay, a little bit more damage potential.
And the Blink, okay.
So, well, decent, but still going to be difficult to fight into these BKBs.
Yeah, they don't have the Tide with them right now.
Who is going to get the initiation? I think that's the other big question. Support's just hiding mid. Yeah.
It's good that this Tide is standing off to the side, though.
Yeah, they still haven't seen it. All right, now he blinks in and shows. Still, I mean, there is this song as the potential counter initiation, but Nando isn't actually even here.
And look at the bot lane as well. You got these skeletons hitting on the tier 2 tower, so pressure happening all throughout the map.
Yeah. This is being answered a little bit at top. Looks like Nando wants to try and commit for this.
A single tier 2 though versus 2 in the mid lane. Oh, they haven't gotten it yet, but it was being heavily threatened.
Do you like the Scotty for the Naga?
Yeah, just more stats is always good. I'm not sure how I feel about it relative to something like a Heart, but I think he's just taking way too much damage, burst damage in these team fights that a Heart's never really going to go off anyway. Oh, that Observer Ward's going to pick up that... sorry, the Sentry's going to pick up that Observer Ward, but not going to be able to clear it out just yet. And the Naga is at least in the vicinity, so if there is a fight that's going to break out, she can contribute. It just feels like that's no damage, right, being done by the Tiny.
Yeah.
Even with the Echo Saber, just it's like a loose lettuce leaf, basically. Just slapping the creeps.
Just as a bok choy.
Yeah.
Slapping them. Okay, they got the Scotty on the Naga Siren now. Let's see. I really want Cignal to make a move. I feel like they're respecting CDEC a little bit too much. We haven't really seen them flex their team fight, but CDEC still just... They're hovering around their vision. They're holding these high grounds. The smoke might be able to break through. What can they find? Dazzle, first one to break. There's the Doom. What can he do? He pops the BKB, immediately looks towards them. They want the Soulbind first, double Doom coming through, but it's not necessarily the best target. Tide coming through. They get the Avatos combination on the backlines. Both supports dead. Jump in from the Storm Spirit, Dazzle, and the Naga about to get out of this Doom, actually. And knowing that, Wraith King just going to pop the BKB and TP his way out of there. There are bounty runes up ready to be claimed, but Cignal are looking for more as Kim Elizabeth finds himself a double kill, and that is going to be a 4-1 in favor of Cignal.
Yeah, the big difference that fight. The Tide finally got his Ravage off. He was making sure that he wasn't at the start of that team fight. So he was able to blink in as soon as that Blink Dagger was off cooldown, hit the Ravage onto 2, sets up the Avatos combo, supports immediately wiped out, and it's just transitioning into a Roshan.
Yeah, and the Tiny finds good targets. What happened to the Storm Spirits, though?
Good question. I was honestly watching the Tide. I'm like, what is this Tide Hunter going to do?
Maybe the Naga came out of Doom, just netted him and flicked him to death, but this is a huge turnaround in Cignal's favor as they pick up the Aegis of the Immortal on the Naga Siren. Oh, man.
Looks like she's going into the Heart as well after this, so just going full HP build.
I mean, his illusions are going to be I know that we said that the Storm Spirit can kind of clear them, but
At 25.
with this much health, yeah, the Naga illusions are going to be ridiculously difficult to deal with.
And the net worth has swung back in favor of Cignal.
Yep.
Just one team fight changed so much.
And Tide's not even that far away from his next Ravage, only 60 seconds to go. We might have a game on our hands, Dano.
We do, and I'm really excited to see it. Actually, the net worth is basically dead even. It's fluctuating back and forth between CDEC and Cignal. What are these next big items? We've got an item coming out to the Storm Spirit right now. He's just picked up the Yule, so a bit more survivability for himself.
All right, I guess.
Maybe just protecting against the Abatos combo?
I think he's also afraid of the Ensnare.
Yeah, the Ensnare.
And the Crystal
Dispelling
Maiden.
some of the
He
stuff.
actually, in that fight, he may have also gotten just hit by the
Frosted.
Crystal Maiden root. Yeah, the Frostbite may have actually messed him up pretty bad.
Yeah, and he will hit his level 20 as well from this creep camp. So maybe now's the time that CDEC want to take the fight. You would think that the Doom's off cooldown very, very shortly.
Do they want to fight into the Aegis, though, I guess is the question.
Depends who they can pick off. And I mean, I think a big thing as well is can they get this Wraith King up to his level 20?
He's close.
Yeah. But so is Cignal.
Yeah. Taking a lot of damage. Forced to use the BKB just to escape from these Naga illusions.
You can see that James is in two minds as well. You know, he wants to be close enough that he can save his core if he gets gone on, but not too close that he's going to be stealing some of that experience that he needs to hit that level 20.
Storm trying to cut this top wave, but needing to be very careful about how he plays this. There is quite a lot of lockdown. He didn't even cut the wave successfully. Okay.
All right, sure, why not?
Sure. So both waves surviving to keep on pushing.
They were trying for the quick pick off onto the Naga, just not finding the real one. Hex instantly dispelling the illusion there.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
And it's actually a butterfly that's being picked up now. Okay.
All right. I still think either of these items is going to make him.
I mean, it just makes the
pretty much
skeletons
unkillable.
even more useless against him.
Yeah.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Who's that
Oh
backdoor
god.
protection?
They are struggling with these illusions.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I never want to see, like, full Naga meta again. I
Oh yeah.
absolutely hated it. Oh, turning on.
The jumping. Jumping
Great
Ravage
Ravage, hits
catches
up
on
to
to
5.
everybody. Red King in the front lines is going to hold on to his BKB. They're jumping through. They do have the Soulbind going out. Double Doom as well. Storm Spirit being locked down by the Song. They're trying to disengage, running it out. Tiny should be the target. They're looking for him. Doom still chasing him on the Crystal Maiden, but he gets hit by the Frostbite. And now Nando is just going to be able to turn around. They've used pretty much all of their big cooldowns.
No one's dead on Cignal.
CDEC, they do lose their two supports pretty much immediately. Doom does have a TP to try and get out of here, but he's got heroes right on top of him and needs to get the blink off. They're staying on him with the auto attacks and the tree toss. Can he get the blink? That's going to be the big question. Blink up out of the high ground, might look for the TP out now and will be able to escape, but still, Nando's just in the base. He's feeling super confident about his position in this game, and for good reason. Not a whole lot that they can really do to stop him. Can they figure out which one is the real one? Storm zips through, they get the catch, dragging him back, chaining their stuns. They did stack them a little bit, but Nando, has he gone too far?
He's got his team coming through, but it might just be a little bit too slow.
Do they have more lockdown? He pops the Manta, but they're still looking for the real one. They've got the Shackle onto him. Nando, too confident, but the Grave is now here. There's the Hex, still looking for this kill. Can they quite finish him off? They will get it. Eve is unstoppable, and Nando thought that he was completely unkillable, but didn't have his team there and does get punished for it.
Yeah, these carries just thinking, oh, I'm 1v5ing this game. No, it's actually a whole team.
No, the enemy team has like 10 stuns.
Yeah.
So it turns out that if you just get chain stunned forever, you can't pop the Song in a way. I don't even think he had the Song, at least not before his first life.
No, because he used it in the fight there in the mid lane to stop the Doom, a lot of the Doom duration. So it was really nice.
He is a high level though. It may have, it's come back up now, but I don't think he had it before the Aegis.
No, he didn't. And I think that was really well played by the Tiny as well. You know, everyone focuses on the Ravage hitting onto 5, and yeah, it was great, but just the perfect timing of his mechanism actually meant that the Tiny didn't go down when he was stuck in that Doom duration. You know, that the additional armor, the heal that went off, he got off a split second before the Doom actually hit him.
Wait, so Tiny has a mech? Is that what you're telling me?
Yep.
Middle tower
Okay.
is under
All
attack.
right.
Radiant structures.
Unless
are
I'm seeing
fortified.
things.
Nice utility, I suppose. Just more aura items hit this Naga Siren timing. Do you think if you're Cignal, are you worried about the Storm 25 timing? They get the zip in, they go for the tiny.
Radiant's middle tower has
Seems
fallen.
like they're a little bit worried. They were ready to
Radiant's
counter him
top
there just to make sure, well, dead men get no experience.
Wait, so maybe Dazzle has a mech?
No, I'm pretty sure.
Tiny has a
sorry,
BKB.
Tide.
Oh, Tide has a mech. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's much more reasonable. I was like, why does mid Tiny have mech?
No, Tide has.
Okay, cool. All right, so they finally come in. They get that tier 2 tower that we thought that they were just going to get for free a little bit earlier. CDEC now have the net worth lead. Nando does still have to show a little bit of respect to the lockdown potential of CDEC, because he is pretty much all of their scaling this game, right? It's once Naga gets 6 slotted, they don't really get too much scarier on the Cignal Ultra side.
Maybe like a Daedalus on this Tiny. That's about the only thing you would think. Pick up a Necro book, do a little bit of split pushing in both lanes with the Naga as well. Means they can deal with it all throughout. It's not just one complete focus. So they've picked off that tier 3 tower as well, so looks like Nando is going to be focusing on the shrines here, making sure that next Xi'an, which could come up in about a minute or so, you would think, minute and a half, might be a bit more achievable for them.
Take advantage of the fact that he did kind of give his life for the
Dire's
tier
top
3.
shrine has fallen.
Actually, it's going to be very difficult to contest Roche against Cignal, especially with having the Song of the Siren.
You can just see here another engagement looking to try and happen. Dazzle's going to get picked
Dazzle
off.
just out on an island all by himself.
No, it's okay.
Yeah. But should he really be there?
Maybe if he was dewarding, it'd be fine. I think that Observer Ward in the Dire jungle just isn't clipped by the sentry that's been placed down there.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. Wait, which ward?
This one.
That's a Radiant.
Yeah, the
Dire's
Radiant
top
Observer
barracks
Ward,
are
and then
under
there's the
attack.
Dire Sentry Ward
Right.
just to the right of it. Can't see it. And above it. It's basically just like a full circle around that
Yeah,
Observer
yeah, they've
Ward.
tried to get it. It's in a slightly... And I think they may have missed it with this 4th one as well. So in a good spot, that's going to give them some nice vision for the potential Xi'an fight. Xi'an potentially respawning in the next couple of seconds. We will have to wait and see just how long it is. Is it a fast one? That looks pretty fast. Maybe another couple of minutes. Oh, no.
I'd say that's slowish, actually.
There
yeah.
you go. Okay. No, that's fairly slow.
Thank you, Mr.
220.
Observer. I think they just denied out the rune on the top side of the river as well with the Naga illusions.
So Doom is going Shiva. The Wraith King picked up a Mjolnir a little bit earlier, so he is kind of going the full anti-Naga build. With the Mjolnir, do you think, and if he does see the butterfly, do you think he still considers going for an MKB this game? Or
On the
Wraith King.
Isn't he? Yeah, so he's going for the
he's going for
AC first.
But after that,
just thinking what else he could potentially go. Maybe a Basher might be good. Lock down these heroes, get the Abyssal Blade off.
Where's the party?
I mean, you've got a ton of CC already. Oh,
Storm
he's so
also
close.
has a, yeah, he's very close to 25, and he's also got a Shiva's queued up.
I mean, it's not bad,
Dire are scanning.
but yeah.
Gold for me.
We'll have to see if it is a case of doubling up by accident, or you know, it's just so great for clearing out some of these illusions, right? Just being able to zip through, pop the Shivas.
Yeah, we'll see if they notice. They've already got the somebody's already got the AC, so kind of hard to itemize for a little bit more armor. Maybe the Doom could go like a Lotus or something, and Storm gets the Shivas. We'll have to see. This ward they got didn't get dewarded earlier. They felt safe, but they jumped straight up onto the high ground. They should know now that there's vision up on that hill, but they do pay the price on the Grimstroke.
That 25 is coming out, though. They're going to be able to spot him out. What can they layer over it?
Yeah, can they actually lock him down is the question. Storm just going to zip up onto the high ground, gets out of there. They've got the Hex onto the real Nagasarn. That's trouble. Glimmer Cape's going to help keep him alive a little bit longer, but they're looking for him, and he doesn't have a song to disengage now, so Storm's just going to stay right on top of him. Hits him with the Orchid, Wraith King on top of him, and Nando is down. XM finds the double kill. They also got the Doom in the back lines onto the Tide. He couldn't actually. Naga Siren, and now he's going to get locked down even further and killed off. Kraken Shell not going to save him there.
Guess what's just coming up?
Oh no. And
Oh, they're not scouting it.
triple buyback. I mean, it's super close to the end of the window anyway, so. Doom, actually? Okay. It's going to be okay.
That double damage dazzle.
Watch out.
Scary.
He's on the hunt.
They're finding him.
They have to get something out of these buybacks, and looks like Doom is going to be the target. He's just going to try for the TP out. Do they have any more interrupts? Tiny's there with the Avalanche. Nicely done. And they will be able to bring him down. Doom does not have a buyback available.
All right, they got a rope. This is big. Signal need this. I mean, who bought back? So
Naga, Tide,
okay.
and the
you got to give it to
Maiden.
Naga then, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Nando needs this now.
I wonder if they're going to scout it out with the Storm Spirit, just zip through, but
Just try for the steal or something.
it's always going for it.
Zips in. Does he get it? No, not quite. A little bit off the timing. There's a little cheese in the pit. He did make room as well, hoping to grab it, but okay. They also get the Dire Couriers. That's a nice little bit of gold.
I think that was close to the heart on... Who nearly had that picked up? Oh, Tiny's going into the tree toss. I love it.
Yeah, it's a nice item for sure.
Especially if they get a nice Ravage off in a closed-in position.
True, just kill the two supports like instantly.
Yeah.
Even the Storm Spirit would have to be careful by getting locked down here. But now comes the true test. Can you push into 25 Storm?
Yeah.
They're going to switch lanes, trying to head over towards top lane after mid gets cleared out. Storm does buy up the full Kaya and Yasha. The illusions are getting cleared with relative ease, and bottom lane is getting pushed in by James. Going to be threatening there with the Mass Serpent wards.
Ah, so he went the Wraithfire Blast, just realizing that, you know what, if our lineup is based around doing stuns and crowd control, let's just add more onto it.
Do you think that's the better talent?
It depends really what composition you've got.
He doesn't really have anybody else that's using the lifesteal, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's part of it.
Well, especially if you're, going into more of a support role, you can just, like a position 3 Wraith King. Yeah. Don't know how many times you're going to hit level 25, but I don't know. I think it's just a really useful talent to have. It's just one extra thing you have to worry about. Do you reckon he's going to go into the evasion or the Riptide armor reduction? I mean, I think
Good question.
I would say Riptide, just because you have a lot to deal with these skeletons already, and you've got the Radiance burn happening.
I mean, the mischance can be helpful against like the Wraith King right clicks and the Storm, but
I guess if he pops the BKB,
I think he needs
right?
more damage.
If he pops the BKB, then you're not really, evading too much the Wraith King.
Dire's bottom shrine is under attack.
And they're just, quickly chipping down at that shrine. Look at that push through on the top side of the map, just making sure that that wave's being pressured in as much as possible. All cooldowns are available for all heroes. Level 25 picked up by Wraith King, level 20 by the Tiny. He's got enough for the Ags, but just wanting to save the buyback, it seems.
This is scary though. I worry that they're going to get locked out. There's going to be this window where they don't have Aegis, but they also don't have buyback.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a really scary time for Nando to be out on the map.
How long would that window be? Like 3 minutes?
2 minutes.
Yeah.
2 minutes,
2.5. All right, here we go. CM's going into the BKB. So just realizing that they do need a little bit more damage here on Signal's side. You can't put everything onto this Naga Siren.
What's the other talent that's up against the freezing field damage? That's the attack speed talent, right?
Yeah.
I think you go the freezing field damage this game.
And then at max level, I believe it's 1.5 second Frostbite and 300 damage for Crystal Nova.
Yeah. That sounds right.
Invisibility!
I mean, if she gets an Ags, it's huge. The Frostbite one, Crystal Nova's good 90% of the time.
Where does this Naga go from here, to your mind? I think Hex, to be honest, but we'll see. It's getting pretty slotted. Of course, still Moonshard, Ags, that kind of a thing. They need
onto the Storm.
They need the follow-up lockdown, though. He's got the Yules. Avalanche. Can he get out of here? There's the root, and he's dead. XM down for 99 seconds. That Invis rune coming in big. Can they actually find a little bit more? They should be able to push the high ground. Storm does have a buyback available.
We'll see how responsive they are to a buyback as well.
Yeah.
Like, do they instantly disengage or not?
The real question also is how much longer on this Aegis? They can't afford to get trapped inside of the base with the Aegis expiring.
Probably about a minute and a half or so, you would think.
Yeah. All right, Race King trying to buy some time. That's a little bit of a weird BKB pop, but...
Don't know about that one, Chief.
Yeah. Okay, they want to try and save the Storm buyback as best they can. Clearing everything out. Glyph already being popped. This should, at the very least, be the one lane of racks.
Really nicely done by the Naga Illusions as well, making sure to disable that Blink Dagger on the Doom. He wants to initiate.
Soulbind, double Doom, buybacks, they're coming in. Can they find these kills? Ravage on the backlines, it catches the two supports. They're tossing them together. James and Victoria both going to lose their life. The Naga's still surviving. Going to get out of this Doom soon, and Wraith King still has 2 lives, but about to take a lot of damage. Tiny brings him down. Storm Spirit, what more can he find? He's zip-zapping over the top of everybody. They're waiting for this Aegis to expire potentially, but it's still in the hands of Nando, and Cignal may have found their opportunity here. Storm Spirit, can he actually hold this by himself? They don't have the Wraith King for 90 seconds. Doom as good as dead without the ultimate available.
They just gone.
Okay. What can they actually do?
What a fantastic Ravage as well, you know. It seemed like CDEC had the better part of that fight, and it wasn't even a Ravage that followed up instantly into kills.
He'll there's the grave. Song coming through. Tiny's going to be looking for the lockdown here. Does get him with the Avalanche. The Yule saves him for a little bit longer. The Hex coming through. Storm needs to reset the mana. Crystal Maiden still surviving. And the damage from Nando. He just slices the Doom into a million little pieces. Can't quite decide if he wants to try and end the game or get the Mega Creeps. Looks like he's going to come back, grab the Megas, but GG is called. We got a game 3, man.
Ooh, let's go. I mean, what a rough first 15 minutes, would you say, for the Tide Hunter? But since then, like 3 key Ravages, that's all it takes to be able to completely turn around the encounter. And we saw there how impactful one spell can be. He hit 5-man Ravages 3 different times.
That blink was such a good pickup.
Yeah.
And we get to see what Cignal is really all about, which is Nando hard carrying the game.
DOTA. Huh?
Okay.
All right.
That's much better. That was much better than my slight.
Yeah, a slight chance, a slight difference, you know. Oh well, I do my best.
Yeah. So next game, do we just see bans on Nando heroes? Does the Slark and the Naga get banned?
I don't think so. I don't think that's really what won them the game. I think maybe you just need to put a bit more pressure onto the Naga.
Okay.
They tried to, once the killing the Doom didn't really work out too well, right? Like they left the Doom alone. And so rotated James up towards the top lane, tried to put a bit more pressure on, but it just didn't really work out, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. We'll definitely see some adjustments regardless.
You can't ignore him. Like, if Nando has no game, they don't have a game. But, again, we saw him try and 1v5 it at certain times, and you need the whole team there to be able to make that real impact.
And I think that we saw that their draft had some nice matchups, especially, like, They absolutely needed, past a certain point, like they wanted to doom the Naga and the Tide, but the only way that they can do that is if they're being stupid and standing right on top of each other.
Which they fixed.
Yeah, then after that bottom fight, they were like, okay, wait, if we just put them apart and then the one can protect the other,
easy game.
That's an easy way to win some Dota.
Easy life. Plus 25 right there, you know?
Yeah.
Nice and easy.
Well, there you go. Are you worried about your prediction now, Matt? Do you still think CDEC are going grand
Was that my
final?
prediction? At the very start of the tournament.
At the very beginning of the tournament, yes.
It might have modified a little bit.
That's true. I don't think it's fair to hold you to that one.
No.
You know, after we've seen the results.
I want to see an all-China final, though. Like, I feel like that would be a really fitting way of WCG to come back into the fold here. It's been, 7 years since the previous one? 2012 was the previous. So
yeah, it's been a long time.
What better way to do it than to have a hype home ground grand final for both teams? Big names as well, CDEC and Newbie, if they are making it through. I'm disrespecting Hippo a little bit. They haven't even played yet, and I'm sort of saying it's a foregone conclusion that Newbie might make it through.
But Newbie, I mean, they swept the group. I don't think it's that unfair. They swept the groups. They looked great. They beat Hippo in the head-to-head, obviously, since they swept. So
yeah, but Cignal beat CDEC, and they lost game 1. Granted, they've turned it around now.
True.
But I would say this is level, right? Like, it's 2-1 technically throughout WCG for going Cignal's way, but you know, it's just one more win, and CDEC have booked their ticket in the grand final.
Do you feel like there was an obvious MVP from the previous match?
Depends what point of the game we're talking about, right?
Okay, sure.
So pre-15 minutes, it was probably... Probably the Grimstroke, honestly.
Okay.
Like pre-20 minutes even. And then post-20 minutes, it would be the Tide Hunter.
Yeah,
Just because of the
he made
combos
some really
together.
nice plays.
Yeah.
And then the other fight that we saw went poorly for them was when the Tide got doomed and he
Yes.
couldn't get the Ravage off, and
Yeah.
the Naga was trying to Song the Storm, and yeah.
Just extending a little bit too far as well. It seems like when Cignal play together as a team, it goes really well for them. But when they try and do this full split strategy, not so much. And they need to make sure they're fighting on advantageous terms. So on their side of the map, for example, it feels like they're really able to counteract any sort of smoke ganks.
Yeah, I think the draft for Game 3 is going to be really interesting because it does kind of feel like CDC, they got what they wanted, right? They had like the full Grimstroke combo, the Wraith King was farming nicely, but the Naga was a little bit of a spanner in the works. The Tide didn't look like as hard of a laning counter to the Wraith King as I've seen it look in other games, but then later on, the Tide looked amazing. So is Tide going up in the priority list? Is he going to be banned?
Yeah.
Are they going to go for this, do they still believe in the Doom, even after it's lost here? Because I think the Centaur is getting banned again. And of course, we're going to have to see how the flip goes as well. Who's got first pick, who's got Radiant, who's got Dire. That's also going to matter quite a bit.
And the Crystal Maiden as well. You know, you were a bit hesitant on how much impact will she have. Now, I don't think it was all too much, but we'll have to see how Game 3 goes because we're heading to a short break, but we'll be back shortly.
Welcome, we're live from Xi'an, China for the World Cyber Games 2019.
No, they're on the cliff! Onto the cliff! In the meanwhile, we've got Trace hiding in the back. He's going to be able to pick up the double kill. Lich in trouble. He comes to Storm. Oh no, Carly was used defensively. Trying to save the no.
Oh no, they're not going to be able to do it!
Look at that! He's going to end the game on a core here. We see on the core, and that's going to be game!
Welcome back, guys. We got WCG 2019 action here in Xi'an. We have a third and final game for Cignal versus CDEC.
It's pretty fitting. They were on the exact same win-loss, I believe, coming out of the group stage, 4 and 3. And so, yeah, good to see them be on this equal footing going into this third game.
Didn't CDEC tie? They tied Hippo and won the head-to-head. I think Cignal actually were one better. They were 5-2, and CDEC
Why you got to
were
do that to
4-3.
me, Kip?
Because I got to keep... we need accurate facts for the viewers at home.
Fake news, it's fine. Okay. But anyway, they were close during the entire group stage. And so, being a 1-1, we always wanted it to go to a Game 3. Before the draft even starts, who are you favoring here?
CDEC.
All right, let's go Cignal.
I think CDEC are playing a little bit better. I think Cignal kind of got the better of them in the
10
draft.
seconds remaining.
Just caught them out a little bit as well.
Yeah, like I think Cignal actually should have been winning at more stages that game. CDEC just kind of out-rotated them.
Right.
And then Cignal, all of a sudden, they were like, wait, we're actually really strong. Like, our Naga is huge, our Tide finally has Blink. And they were still scared at that point, it seemed, to move off of their side of the map.
Yeah.
And then they got kind of forced into taking that fight, which they completely cleaned up, no problem. They were like, wait a second, maybe we're actually super strong.
Dire
So.
team
Okay, so even with the...
Ooh, they get the Warlock this time.
It's come through. And the Bristleback, okay, so picking that with it instead of with the Crystal Maiden. I noticed as well that CDEC with the first pick didn't choose to go for the Lina. So James not going to be playing one of his signature heroes. And I don't know, we're going to see something a little bit different here, at least from Cignal. It really felt like in that previous game that
10 seconds
it was kind of the case of like CDEC were always
5
playing it
seconds
like an
remaining.
8 out of 10 throughout the entire game.
Okay.
And Cignal were playing it like a 6 in the first 20, and then they upped it to about a 9 after that.
Yeah.
You know, once they figured out their positioning.
No, I feel that. Yeah, they figured out that they were strong in the game. Hopefully that last game should have been a pretty big confidence boost, but we've also seen the first game, I think draft sucked. They lost because of the draft. Game 2, draft was really good, and play was pretty good, so won because of that.
Yep.
So I think so much of it is going to come down to this.
Surprisingly little stun as well for them in the Game 2 draft. They really just had, what, the Ravage and the Tiny Toss, and that was it.
Yeah. Okay, so CDEC having to have a little discussion, using some of their reserve time, deciding how worried they are about the Bristleback and what they feel like the counters are. How much respect do you have for Bristleback as a hero at the moment?
I don't know if I would be first phasing him. He's kind of more of a niche pick that if something happens in the draft where you're like, well, damn, this is a really good Bristleback game, then he's perfectly viable. I know a lot of more people are starting to pick him up earlier in the draft because maybe it forces the opposing team to go into a certain type of strategy, kind of like what we were talking about with, you know, that Ember Spirit second pick that they had, where I talked about my pubs with Zeus, you know, kind of changing the way that they want to play. There's nothing ruling out the opportunity for another Legion Commander pick here for CDEC. We saw Newbie do it with Owen with great success. It nullifies what's good about the Bristleback. It gets rid of the Fatal Bonds, at least on one hero. I think it'd be a pretty good pick here.
Yeah, and I think the only time I've really seen Bristleback look really successful recently is when Genespers were playing it. And Genespers were all about like the 4 Protect 1 style. So they just had 4Ev playing it, and he would get a lot of farm early. They would stack a bunch of camps for him, and he would creep cut. Typically with maybe a little bit of help from the position 4 initially, and then the position 4 would go stack camps. And you would have this huge Bristleback running around, just being a huge nuisance for the first 20-25 minutes of the game, while 23 Savage was farming up. And I think that's something that Cignal can do as well, and something that they can look to replicate here. But CDEC already banning out the Naga, and I guess deciding whether, what other hard carries they feel like they need to get rid of. What else have you seen Nando play much else? Not necessarily in this tournament because we haven't got to watch every single game. Some of them even have been played off stream and they're not ticketed, so unfortunately they're kind of lost to the ether. But
I mean, he's played a bit of Juggernaut, he's played a bit of Phantom Lancer. What else? PA.
Is Terrorblade still a hero? To me, that's always like you think about Terrorblade at least a little bit when you're playing against the Lifestealer.
Yeah, absolutely. Means that you just have to run through the gauntlet basically to try and get anything done, and by then you're already at half HP.
Yeah. Ooh, okay. They take the Legion Commander.
Yeah. Wanted to pick it.
So what does that mean for their positions now? Is Bristleback position 1? Is Legion Commander position 1?
It's not a Legion 4, is it? We've seen them do some crazy 4 picks.
Yeah. I don't want the Ember in the first game to be like the... They still willing to pick the Shadow Shaman in this situation. Okay.
I like it.
It's good damage, good lockdown for the Bristle as well. You want to be able to hit him in the face.
And just the Mass Serpent Wards giving another pushing potential. I'm surprised at how little Jakiro is being picked throughout this entire tournament, basically. And the Wyvern. Where's my Wyvern?
10 seconds remaining.
It's a great hero.
You think it's still good?
Yes.
Did it get some nerfs semi-recently? No,
remaining.
still untouched?
Nope.
It was a little bit ago, right?
They changed a little bit with the Cold Embrace. They gave it more base and less percentage on the heal. Okay. Yeah.
I thought they nerfed Arctic Burn a tiny bit as well.
A tiny bit, but insignificant, really.
Okay. It's surprising that it got nerfs without really being... Was it that popular? I'm trying to think back.
Maybe Valve's just watching me. You know?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure that's what it is.
Yeah, they're just trying to make my life miserable.
Yeah.
But no.
You and Lyrical, they can't let you guys get too high up on the
I
MMR.
will survive. What's his spammer? He's a
Darkseer spammer.
Darkseer spammer.
His hero has been gutted.
That is true. Poor guy.
Gabe's going back to Ancient next season.
Oof. Nah, I'm going straight up.
Yeah?
The only way is up for me.
What are you, Divine 4? 5?
Yeah.
5, okay.
That's alright.
Yeah? Yeah, just pick some Jakiro, that hero owns.
I do, and then my team feeds.
It's not a Jakiro problem.
I know.
Sounds like a you problem.
What? My point is...
Where's the shot calling, Matt?
What? I do. Trust me.
Oh, yeah?
I shot call a lot in my games. But Wyvern can win you games. Jakiro cannot win you games. You can carry as a 5 with Wyvern.
I don't know, man. Jakiro can win games pretty hard.
Nah.
You got like a, what's it, 2.2 second stun on a 7-second cooldown or something? That's pretty mint.
Trust me, I get a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you can
You can. The most satisfying thing is Jakiro is macropyring a tree that Monkey King is sitting on,
Yes.
and he drops down into the macropyre. Oof,
Radiant
that feels real
team
good.
pick.
Pretty juicy.
But, okay, Cignal now going for Rubik. So okay, it is still core Legion, but that does mean it is like
Dire team
position 1 Legion or Bristle. As CDC now go for Axe.
I don't know.
Very strong dual lane.
I don't know about the Axe in general, though. It hasn't had the strongest showing in this tournament.
That's true.
I'm just waiting to see.
But it is the other like force positioning hero.
Yeah.
If they can't get the Legion commander for the Bristleback, then the Axe is nice in theory. I'm with you.
10
I don't have a
seconds
huge
remaining.
amount of faith in Axe as a
Radiant
hero,
team back.
but I think it could end up being okay this game. My one problem for Cignal is, oh, actually, I was about to say that they haven't diversified their damage very much, but they do actually have a decent amount of magical damage.
Yeah.
With the Fate Bolt and the overwhelming odds, combine all of that with the Fatal Bonds.
You can just steal Ether Shock from the Shadow Shaman. The real thing
Yeah.
I want to see
Or
stolen
Stroke
is
of Fate.
Soulbind. I want to see that stolen,
yeah.
because then it gives you that
10
Warlock
seconds
combo.
remaining.
That's true. Well, it's not really as much of a combo anymore,
Yeah.
right?
5
Because you don't
seconds
immediately get the double bonds.
True.
It deprioritizes units that already have bonds
Yeah,
on
yeah.
them. So it can still happen, right? That's the thing. Like if there's only heroes around and nothing else to jump to, then it will double them up.
Except
But
Roche. I don't like that. I wish they
can't
kept the Roche.
bind them to Roche.
Yeah.
It was just so stupid though that you
No,
couldn't.
but it's a cool thing, you know?
I guess.
Radiant team
Like an Ursa can literally kill his team if he just keeps hitting
Dire
Roche.
team
Yeah, pop in rage and just
Razor.
go to town. Okay, CDC. They see 2 melee heroes on the Cignal Ultra side. They pick Razor. Heading to the mid lane. Axe just going to be creep cutting. And as the
Choose
response,
your hero.
oh, I don't know. See, Cignal picking this up. I have seen XM do, not win the lane versus Quaps, but he goes Tranquil Boots. So all these Queen of Pain players, they're like, I want to harass the Razor down so I can kill him.
Yep.
So they end up getting like 3 points in Shadow Strike, and then XM just buys Tranquil Boots and he like kind of jungles a bit, and he stays on full HP the whole time.
Yeah.
Like he really understands this matchup super well. And Quap is another one of those heroes where I'm like,
You sure?
I don't know how good, like whenever I see a Queen of Pain pick, I'm like, I appreciate that this is probably a good game for Queen of Pain. Is Queen of Pain a good hero?
Especially with the Warlock, though. I feel like
That's true.
you need to get a lot done when you can first rotate with that Sonic Wave.
Are you worried about lack of initiation from Cignal? I mean, they do have the Legion commanders,
They got
so
the
that helps a
LC.
little bit.
Yeah.
Because that was your concern for them in the first game.
It was, but now at least they've got the Warlock that can do that.
Okay.
You've got pretty good range with the Golem.
Good initiation or counter initiation,
Yeah.
kind of a thing. Yeah.
It's not quite as one-sided as it was in Game 1, so I'm probably still leaning a bit more towards Newbie's Draft, but I think CDEC are going to be able to put on a really entertaining game as well. Sorry, Cignal are going to be able to put on an entertaining game.
We got a lot of chat wheeling going on. Both of these teams. A very important game. Winner is guaranteed
40K.
40K. Loser is guaranteed
Nothing.
Spot in the lower bracket. That, well,
A chance
in
at
the,
20K.
Yeah, in the third, fourth match. So, yeah, quite a lot of money on the line, and both of these teams. CDC, I think some pride as well.
Yeah, I mean, do you think this Queen of Pain was picked for the harassing potential against the Razor, or more likely it was picked for the Blink, right? Just to be able to get rid of the
Well, see,
static?
that's the answer. Like, the Quap is supposed to be the answer in lane to the Razor because you can always deny
walk out of
him
it,
the
yeah.
static link.
You can just put 1 point in it,
30
it's fine.
seconds
Yeah,
to battle.
but like in practice, I have seen the Razor still just do fun. It's also supposed to be good because Razor isn't necessarily good against burst damage. Like if he just dies instantly at the start of the fight, you
Yeah.
don't get a whole lot of value out of all of his low cooldowns and the damage that builds up over time.
Especially if you're able to duel him, right? Like he can't get anything off,
Yeah.
and he's locked in place, and he can't use his superior movement speed. I'm a bit confused about this Warlock build. He had 2 Tangos, 2
The
Clarities, and
battle
3
begins.
Mangos on a Warlock. I don't know about that.
Oh, nice deny. Okay, so it's going to be 2-1 in the initial bounty runes.
And going full harass here on the Shadow Shaman as well. He's got the boots and 1 set of Tangos.
Okay. Oh, he is getting gone on a little bit here. Going to take a bit of damage.
He'd be in a lot more trouble if he didn't have those boots, that's for sure.
God, he actually took so much damage there. All right, so James is just here to soak the first wave. Axe is already moving into position to start cutting creeps.
Yeah. Got the double salve as well, so some survivability. Rubik immediately TPing back.
Okay, can Rubik get some denies here? I guess he's just going to harass him. No double stout anymore, so Axe is going to be taking a little bit more damage while doing this, and you can already start to see it adding up. 1, 2, 3 is succeeding in getting most of these last hits, though.
Yeah, trying for the deny as much as he can. A little bit of a...
Axe will kill you.
He's going to go. Always going to lose that exchange.
Can he even... Does he feel like he has enough health to aggro this next wave? He does go for it, but...
Maybe he's trying to pull it all the way through.
Wait, why did Rubik...
Back off?
Why did Rubik let him go?
I don't know.
Why would you let him salve like that? That's crazy.
I do like this. Well, I thought he might consider to keep it pulling, you know, oh, that Korean is to worry as well, if he's going to walk through the axe.
Yeah.
And we're going to have another wave coming in soon, so more chances for the spins to come through.
Yeah, I really don't like Rubik backing down like that.
Yeah. Just got to keep the pressure up on him.
I mean, maybe he's worried. Maybe he was worried about the Shadow
Shaman.
Shaman. He'd lost track of where he was, so didn't want to get jumped, but... Axe, all right, just going to drag it over to the neutrals potentially. James, with the boots, should be able to zone back the Rubik pretty easily. Picking up the level 2 now as well.
The positive side, though, the Legion Commander is able to just get those levels up. He's got 10 last hits right now, so Axe a little bit in the lead, but that's pretty much guaranteed.
Between you and me.
Do you like that the Bristle is playing the lane here?
Very active here.
Yeah. Fairy Fire getting popped. Is he just going to tick down to the Shadow Strike? He will. That's going to be first blood for Kim Elizabeth. Okay.
Doesn't have the Tranquils up online just yet.
No, I have not seen him get first blooded like this in this matchup. So. Big props to...
It's a high-pressure situation. Even the best players can be affected.
That's true. Oh, Rubik's still getting run at. Legion farming nicely. Do you like the fact that the... I guess the Shaman kind of has to be here, otherwise the Rubik would be pressuring the Axe a lot.
Yeah.
But they are splitting experience as a result, so...
It's not the worst, though. I feel like the Axe just needs the gold, and then he's able to get the items. He can then rotate into the jungle and farm in that way. Give a bit more over to the Shadow Shaman once that's done.
Man, this is a slugfest of a mid lane. I wonder if maybe the courier got interrupted on like the side of CDEC or something. But
that's why he died.
Yeah, maybe he like didn't get a salve or something. That he was just underestimating the damage a little bit. I saw him play this matchup so many times though.
Taking a lot of damage here on the live stream.
Yeah. Okay, Axe has got his Ring of Health now, so pretty sustainable.
Yeah, he's going to bring that through. Oh, and happy to dive. 3 stacks of the Cool Spray, dodging the Stroke of Fate. Nicely done.
Okay, this is looking good. I'm actually really liking that the Bristleback is like contesting the lane and pressuring. Lifestealer trying to heal up, but he's pretty low, and BB just kind of going for the dives. James is going to deny himself, get some mana back. Well, not a deny, but barely giving away any gold.
Yeah, happy to do so. As we said before, he really only had the boots and the tangos, so didn't have any way of sustaining.
There you want. There's Axe kill, and I think they are going to be able to get it, or perhaps not. Actually, Rubik's still only level 1. I thought they had lift, but...
That Ring of Health doing a lot for him.
Yeah, he's just juking through the
There you
trees.
go, Quap's going to come in up.
This is his axe.
Alright, well, Rubik gets the last hit. Still not quite level 2. No, Lifestealer pretty low. Alright, just going to pop everything, going for this kill. Inkswell also coming through. Bristleback going to look for the turnaround, but this is quite a lot of healing picked up, and they also land the Stroke of Fate, so Bristleback somewhat getting kited. Lifestealer, I think you might just need to run for it, my friend. And he will do so. Bristleback not quite healthy enough. It'll be interesting to see how the bounty runes go with everybody at such low HP on this bottom side of the map.
And the top side as well, honestly. The Axe seems pretty happy to just continue to creep cut, leaving the responsibility maybe to this Shadow Shaman, but
everyone's coming over.
Here we go. Another battle coming through.
Oh. Call is ready. Legion just going to try and go for the other one. Lift up.
Oh, nicely
Actually,
done.
this looks like it's going to be 3 for Cignal. Very nice. Rubik probably going to pay with his life, but...
I'd say it's worth it.
Oh, well worth it at this stage of the game. And is he even going to go down? Another Battle Hunger or maybe one more auto attack out of James. They do have the heal coming through, but Battle Hunger and a zap will be the kill.
Another creep wave too. So I don't know, it seems so even. Like, a lot of these things seem to be going in favor. Yeah, they got the bounty room, but then you've got a double creep wave. You've got the kill still. And it's too early to call, I think, about how this one's going to turn out. I think the Queen of Pain has done very well in the lane so far. You know, getting more denies out. Yeah, lacking a little bit in last hits, but should be fine.
I do like CDEC's Tricore a little bit better, but this Bristleback is doing quite well, and the Lifestealer is getting slowed down early on. So I think a lot of it falls to XM. I've seen him play this before. He's going to be... He'll try and be somewhat active, but I think a lot of it comes down to the Axe and James. 1, 2, 3 and James, whether or not they can make rotations early and make stuff happen. Alright, open wounds, but don't even hit him. Just walk away.
He just needed the space.
Yeah, this Bristleback is applying a ton of pressure.
Regen as well for this Queen of Pain. So now she's got the capability of diving perhaps a little deeper. You've got the Rubik sitting quite close by. That looks like a dead Bristle, maybe. If they can get
he's got his back turned, and actually that's a lot of quill sprays coming through. Alright, he is regretting putting all of that damage onto his back. Queen of Pain in pretty deep here at mid. James coming in looking for some kind of a...
rotations, the Rubik nicely placed to be able to spot everything out.
Well, they want the kill, but I don't think they're quite going to be able to get it. Lifestealer realizing just how much damage that quill spray can do.
He's got 3 stacks, probably going to be popping that regen quite soon. There we go, rotating through towards the top side. They know exactly where the axe is.
They could get this without using the Sonic Wave. That would be great as well. Oh, no, Bristleback's finally been found. Got caught by the Inkswell. One more auto attack. Eve brings down Nando.
Nice presence of mind as well by this axe. Just a TP back. Not all the way to the base.
He didn't even have a ton of vision for that either. Just kind of suspected that the game... I guess he realized that nobody was sitting mid. The Bristleback didn't get any help at bottom, so somebody must be coming for me on the top side of the map.
Yeah, I mean, if that Observer Ward on the right side, sorry, on the left side of the mid lane was a little bit more forward, they would have seen the rotation coming through, but I think it's just a little bit too far away to actually see it, so yeah. Some real sixth sense.
Looking for the Bristleback, needs to get some damage on the front. He does immediately deal with the Phantom. There's too many stacks on the Lifestealer. Needs to back out and reset. Does have the Infest to be able to heal back up. Looks for a creep, but will not find one. That camp is actually currently empty. And okay, sneaky obs planted from the tree line there, just to keep an eye on this bottom lane.
Here we go. Queen of Pain, time for a rotation. She's got that haste, picking up something on the Courier. Yeah, power treads. So looking to make something happen. Probably saving the Sonic Wave for the Rage, trying to burst through. Oh, here we go. Big Link as well.
Oh, the Sonic Wave comes through. Looks like they are going to lose both supports. James running the opposite direction. Lifestealer taking decent damage off of this, and that is going to be a double kill for Kim Elizabeth. Very nice. Got the call up at top. The duel is still available. I mean, Axe has a full Vanguard, so not really taking a whole lot of damage off of the Legion Commander. And Legion just going to be going for the drum. It's a very different look for Cignal this game, though, having Nando on the Bristleback, right?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of fits his style, though. We've seen him dive deep plenty of times.
Yeah. And there are some big stacks for him to clear, so he might even take the #1 net worth spot in this game before too long. What kind of build do you think Quap's going to go this game? Is there value in like a fast Orchid? Does he need a Yules? Do you like anything else?
I mean, what's the Orchid going to do is my real
kill the supports.
Concern. Yeah, but I feel like you've got the capability of doing that anyway with a decent Fatal Bonds. Like, you don't need the Orchid to do it unless you're just talking about solo pickoffs.
Yeah, well, I think it also kills the Lifestealer reasonably well, but he is just going to be going for a Yule Scepter, nice mono regen item. Axe playing super aggro up at top, and then you have the Phantom's Embrace also coming in, looking for this kill. Inkswell gonna land in a sec. Okay, they whiff the dunk, but they've still got the damage to get this kill.
And they don't have level 6 just yet on the Shadow Shaman, so not able to drop the Mass Serpent Wards. I don't think they should need it, though. More importantly, what is going to happen around these bounty rooms? We've got Rubik getting gone on a little bit by the Razor, but he's just going to be able to get away.
Okay.
For my
Damage as well. We might get a decent amount of damage onto this mid-tier 1 tower if the Razor chooses to do so.
bounty.
Looks like she's just farming up some of the camps.
Okay, so it looks like Bristle's finally, with his Vanguard now moving into
Another
position.
rotation coming through from the Legion. He's going to be able to just back off though. gone drums, straight into the blink afterwards, but still about 2,000 gold away.
And Axe, meanwhile, 1,800. Pretty damn farmed. I feel like I haven't seen a creep-cutting Axe do this well in a little while.
Oh, look at all this farm.
Yeah, this is going to catapult him up to #1 potentially. And some nice levels for Grims as well. This has been what he's been working on for the last 10 minutes. He's got all of that gold sound ringing in his ears from all the stacks.
The stack gold.
He's going to be really happy.
Like, you know what? I did my job.
Yeah. And yeah, with that, Nando's now #1 on net worth.
He's going to put him on the cliff.
Dire's structures
Yep.
are
Well, he gets him up there, but is he going to get out with his life? Looks like not quite. XM doesn't quite have the mana, but toggles the treads, does TP down. So not going for the Tranquil Boots this game, is just tanking up a little bit more with the treads, and is opting for a Yule Scepter as the item.
I prefer that a lot more.
Oh, they got the jump. Legion Commander up top. The supports once again from CDEC making these plays. This time around, will they time the dunk properly? They don't get it once again. On cooldown for 70 seconds. Axe getting brought low. Fatal Bond's helping to clean them up, and they get the lift back onto the Shadow Shaman. Reese cleaning that one up. They're going to try for the TP out. Will be successful, but still 2-for-1 turnaround in Cignal's favor.
I think he'd be pretty happy using the rock in that way. I think he might have hit level 7 as well with the Tome of Knowledge being used. So a lot of damage being split up by that Fatal Bonds. Yeah, the LC dying, not so great, but the amount of heroes committed from the top side from CDEC, it was pretty much a foregone conclusion.
At least nice that Cignal get to use some of their spells this game, right?
Yeah.
How long did we see the Ravage getting held
About 18 minutes.
in the previous game and not getting used?
Yeah.
So it's much better.
Got SNY on this Bristleback.
Yeah, seems like he's going for more of a carry-oriented build. I do think that people underestimate Warpath a little bit, right?
Yeah.
You're often used to seeing Bristleback running away from fights, but if you've got enough net worth, he can actually just, like, man up
And in
and
that
run
sense, do you think people underestimate Axe a little bit as well? Because it just allows you to get those Warpath stacks up way too quickly. I think particularly against this lineup where you've got 3 heroes that want to be in deep on you, it's going to be really useful.
I think he could get it later on. I think the problem that you run into is, like, Bristleback has other issues to solve. Like, you kind of want a Basher to stop people just, like, TPing away, potentially. And you need a little bit of mana regen. And, you know, there's other issues to solve, but certainly if you're a Bristleback with a lot of farm, I think the Ags could be great.
Axe just a tiny bit away from that level 10. Be nice to have, but
Bristleback playing pretty aggro at bottom, but they are just beelining straight for him. Lifestealer popping the rage to get out of the goo. Does he have help? The Warlock behind him, but no Chaotic Offering. The smoke's about to break to get the jump in, but they whiff completely on the call. Bit of a airball there from 1, 2, 3. They're still going to try and go for this Warlock. He breaks his way out, and now they just turn around with the overwhelming odds. Fatal Bond's doing so much damage. We're seeing why this hero was getting banned a little bit earlier. They also managed to club down the Lifestealer. Nando's hitting hard, and Grimstroke trying to hide in the trees, but they're still looking for him. Going for the TP out. They do spot him, but not quite enough damage to bring him down, though.
so much damage from that overwhelming odds, being able to pick off that Shadow Shaman.
That was an absolutely terrible reveal of a blink. I don't know if I've seen as bad of a blink reveal in a while.
Yeah.
He like wanted both and got neither.
I mean, did they have any vision? I don't think they did, right? It was just a blind blink. I really don't think
maybe. I feel like Lifestealer was still maybe.
But he was more
in the
spotting
neighborhood.
the
Bristleback.
The bristle, yeah. And I feel like he was going. Well, no, they wouldn't have known the Warlock was there, right?
They might not have. Yeah. It seemed like he was going more for the Warlock, but yeah, either way, he missed both of them completely. Lifestealer not very farmed, still going to be going for the Midas Radiance build, so he won't really be a big part of this game for a while, and Cignal sitting on a 3k net worth lead.
We're definitely going to see another rotation, or at least contesting an aggressive bounty rune here by Cignal. We've got the Warlock Golem back online. Queen of Pain has her Yule Scepter. She's regenning back to full HP. They want to make something happen right now.
Yeah, Cignal do have by far the strongest heroes
at this point of the game.
Yeah, at this point.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Just aggressively positioning himself and doesn't even need his entire team there. He's able to just secure 2 bounty runes for his team on Nanda.
Yeah, this Bristleback is huge. Large and in charge. Farming some more Ancients up.
Chunky yet funky.
Yep.
He's doing well.
Gold is a great
Maybe.
conductor.
Yeah, I think they've just smoked. Queen of Pain has her ulti up. Very deep Shadow Shaman, but does Legion have a blink?
Oh, they've got Katic offering as well. Lifestealer comes around the corner, straight into the duel. Can they do anything to save him? He's taking a lot of damage. Blink call onto 2, but the Katic offering counter-initiates the Soulbind, also coming in. Lifestealer looking for the heal. He gets it out of the creep, but that means his ultimate is down for this fight. They are looking for the lockdown here onto the Queen of Pain, gonna Yules herself up. James is waiting, couldn't quite get the shackles off. He raised his hands, but it wasn't enough. Nando now charging forward, looking for this Razor kill. The Quill Spray damage stacking up. He does turn his back at the last moment, trying to survive. He will do so. Get down, but can they actually get any more? Lifestealer hiding inside of the trees. Queen of Pain still has this double damage. Gonna be looking for a little bit more. Rubik managing to steal the Stroke of Fate, but they've locked down onto Ares. He's gone. Trying to fight around the Mass Serpent wards. Can it actually do enough damage? Looks like Queen of Pain's gonna be okay. And overall, it's a 3 for 2 with a buyback, I believe, from the Axe.
Yeah, really vital that Kim Elizabeth was able to get that Shadow Strike onto the Axe. We saw in that fight, when they initiated onto the Lifestealer, he was the one to break that up. He forced out the Chaotic Offering in the not-so-ideal position. So just getting that Shadow Strike ticking out on him, it means that he can't do that second counter-initiate and maybe pick up a second kill and get real value out of that buyback.
Yeah, it was still a decent fight for Cignal Ultra. The thing I'm afraid for as well for CDEC is that Warlock is having a pretty good game. Warlock's got a Midas.
Yeah.
Like, his game is pretty guaranteed from here. CDEC, I don't actually know if they can deal with a bunch of golems in the late game. And not to mention how well all the other heroes on Cignal are doing. Lifestealer is steadily climbing the net worth charts though, but he has opted to go for an Armlet, not going to be going for the Radiance build this game.
A little more tanky. He has a ring of regen backpacked. I guess that's just a relic from his laning stage.
Radiant are scanning.
Just not really going into anything all too aggressive, but ring of protection, sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it must have just been value armor against the Bristleback. Huh?
Yeah. Oh, and going into an Aghanim Scepter here on Kim Elizabeth. So really wanting to take those frequent fights, constantly be pushing out, maybe using that combining together with a Legion Commander duel as soon as it's off cooldown.
Pretty nice to have with the Fatal Bonds as well, right? Every single bond.
Oh, going in aggressively here.
They want the Rubik. Master Boards pop down, but Rubik's got rage. They blink in call. They're looking for this kill. They get the dunk. They get the bonus move speed. They look for the backwards.
A little bit fortunate that I don't believe that Radiance is finished up just yet on the Lifestealer. Otherwise, he would have been stuck.
Yeah. Well, he's not going Radiance.
Double damage as well. Look at all these TPs coming through.
Yeah, they're looking for it. They've got the link over onto the Bristle, but he's pretty damn fast getting those stacks up and just speeding his way out of there. That's just, he doesn't have haste or anything. This is just S&Y phase boots and Warpath stacks. And another missed call. They do have the Lifestealer waiting inside. Warlock's got the Chaotic Offering ready, and they get the duel over onto the Shadow Shaman, looking for that winner, and they will grab it. Lifestealer kind of in no man's land. The Razor also losing big life. Nice blink in call. They will get the kill onto the Bristleback. Those stacks are actually going to end up being his undoing as the Chaotic Offering catches onto 2. Grimstroke also being brought down. Lifestealer trying to man fight. He's going to get a nice Inkswell stun onto both of them, but Rubik is here with the lift. And they get another call coming through. Can they get one more done? Couple more auto attacks. He retreats back into the upheaval. Actually going to keep on fighting. Grim's getting a double kill. This Rock is doing so much work. Axe with the Blade Mail, trying to finish these kills. He will get it, finds the double, but looks like he is going to be brought down. And Grims puts the finishing note on that fight with a triple kill for the Warlock.
It feels so good. Position 5 just to have your goal of doing all that work in these team fights. Look at the damage done by Grim, second on his team in that team fight, and the overwhelming odds as well, chunking down all of these heroes on CDEC, who I don't think they've gotten to the point where they're super tanky. You know, the Lifestealer, as soon as that rage is off cooldown, he doesn't have all too much to protect himself. He's gone for this real gritty build. Midas, he's got an armlet, I suppose, but
he's going Deso next.
Yeah, Deso next, so it's not going for any sort of HP, at least at this point.
The one thing I am a little... Okay, I think this game would be looking way worse if 123 wasn't playing like an absolute god. He is top of the net worth for his team. He's been finding he's missed a couple of blink calls, but he's also been finding some super important kills here and there. I mean, we have an Invoker in the Hippomaniacs game, but he doesn't have the Persona.
What are you doing, buddy?
How disappointing.
I bet they got excited about that as well.
Yeah. Because you can't tell off the pick screen. No.
Can you not with Personas? You can't.
There's no cosmetics. Because nobody's selected it, right?
True, true.
But I'm a little bit worried about this Bristleback maybe falling off. I think the Axe is actually going to start countering him more and more as the game goes on. But maybe that's where the Warlock counter initiation is looking good.
Was that? Who was going into the Aghanims? I saw someone very, very close. Queen of Pain, right?
Yeah.
I think she was only about half of one item away from picking it up. So.
Okay. Pretty nice.
Exciting. And that Aether Lens is up on the Rubik as well, so just being able to stay on the outer edges of the team fights, a bit further away from the Axe, a bit further away from the Razor, means that you're not getting linked up by the Grimstroke either.
There's some really nice spells to utilize the Aether Lens this game as well. I think that's how you need to evaluate it as Rubik. Like, are the spells that I'm stealing going to benefit? They get a jump in call, blade mail damage. They're trying to keep this Bristleback alive, but he's already down below half HP. Sonic Wave coming back the other way. They do have the Fatal Bonds, but James, he gets the Hex onto the Queen of Pain. Trouble in the backlines. The Duel coming through. Now they bring down the Axe Lifestealer, trapped inside of the upheaval. He used the Rage for damage, but they couldn't quite kill off Nando. And that is going to be a 4-0 Cignal Ultra doing it here at WCG 2019 in the semifinals.
And the value of those wards as well. They're kind of lost, you know? They were trying to protect the tower a little bit. They were trying to give the impact, but it just feeds more and more gold over to Cignal. It's going to mean escalating that farm even more. Queen of Pain gets away. No deaths coming through from Cignal, and now it's a 5k net worth lead. You have to think, you know, what is the item that's going to turn this around if you're on CDEC?
And they've only got kind of little items coming up, right? The Deso, the SNY. Nothing huge. Axe is going to continue falling off as this game continues, potentially. And Bristleback, no signs of slowing for him whatsoever. 12.1k on Nando.
And he's going into the Radiance. So we saw the Lifestealer queuing it up a bit earlier on, but it's actually the Bristle that's going to be taking full advantage of that.
That is going to make Axe's life so hard. Bristle in the front with the Radiance burn just going everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. And it even means that you have to actually focus on it. You know, you can't just ignore the Bristleback and say, look, we're going to have a tough time killing him. He needs to be priority number one.
And Legion Commander's getting bigger. 7k net worth lead in favor of Cignal.
Going boots of travel on this Axe before actually finishing up his BKB. A little bit interesting.
Yeah, that is curious. What do you make of that? Are they just going to try and split push a little bit and delay the game? Is it a ganking tool?
You'd have to think it's a ganking tool, right? Like, it's the way CDEC play. They want to make sure they're getting these kills. It means that he can show on one side of the map and then rotate through and actually have an impact on the other side.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's not like he's getting it to respond to BOTs from the enemy team or anything like that.
Quap getting closer to her 18 as well, so that's going to really have a huge impact. Here we go. We've got a smoke coming through here with the Invest Bomb. Oh, that ward, though.
Oh, may have spotted it.
Man, when did they place that? Like 1.5 minutes ago.
Yeah, it must have been a little while.
After that 4-man kill, I guess. And they're instantly back off, so.
Yeah, they're going to go for a smoke of their own. They need to clean these waves out and then get in position for some bounty runes. But okay, CDC realizing that this gank is not going to pay off. And they've got the Chaotic Offering once again. It's just so hard to fight into Warlock.
LC almost hitting his 20 as well.
I'm wondering what they chose, what they thought needed a higher ban priority than the Warlock, because
I mean, CDEC had first pick. They chose to go for the Grim.
Oh yeah, true. Oh, jump in, Duel on the Lifestealer. He does have the Rage for a couple of seconds, but there's just so much damage, and especially when he goes for the single target build, that Blade Mail is just doing even more back to him.
That DD as well, really putting in work, not forcing out the Sonic Wave. Not even really that big a deal when you've got the Aghanim Scepter, but still, that means you've got it in the kit for this Roshan.
Alright, well, seems like Cignal should be able to clean this up pretty easily. James trying to sneak in here, grab himself a bounty rune. Might try and make some kind of a play around the pit, but he gets lifted up. The Quap comes straight out looking for him, gets the sting, is trapped in the upheaval. They're just going to leave him for now. They are going into the pit. Radiant get the Roshan last hit. Nando does manage to snatch the Aegis, so he's looking pretty good in this fight, still going. Quill Spray stacking up. They bring down one Lifestealer, buying back into the game. XM just standing his ground, trying to get this Queen of Pain kill. The duel comes in, and that's going to keep the Quap alive on a sliver of HP. Lifestealer not even really able to re-engage there. And I don't know, call that a big win for Cignal.
Yeah, only the Aegis being expended, and we can see this Warlock here, only 500 gold away from picking up his own Aghanim Scepter.
Man.
I mean, we talked about the effect of that Midas early on. He's sitting...
This Warlock is going to be such a big issue.
Yeah, and he's hit some fantastic calls in these team fights so far. Calls, chaotic offerings. Same.
AoE stun.
Middle tower has fallen.
And there you go, up onto the high ground. Bristleback leading the way. He's got that level 18. So big damage off of these Warpath stacks.
Radiant's middle tower
Just
has
covering everything with the upheaval. They do have the TP coming in, but Razor's still dead for 15 seconds. They don't have the glyph available. Jump in, call. What have they found? It is going to be the Queen of Pain. Locked down for a little bit. Also Hex. They do get the Quap down pretty much immediately. Also the stun going out onto the Legion Commander, looking for that secondary target.
Nicely
They
done.
do get the dunk. They do lose the melee barracks, but they're looking for a little bit more. Bristleback going to get silenced, but what else can
Razor
they
on
find?
the other side.
Oh, they've got the link. They're also looking for the Rubik. Keeping the Bristleback here. They're into the call. They're doing damage to his front. Not getting the Cold Sprays going, and CDEC, they will get the punish.
Man, being able to turn that around 4v5 as well. The Razor not needing to buy back. When they initiated in, he still had 12 seconds left on his death timer. So huge play by them. And it was really like, this is their tournament life on the line, right? You have to go for plays like that.
under attack.
It's risky, but you have to play to win rather than not to lose.
Yeah. This is... Makes sense to pop glyphs. You're about to lose the tier 1. Looking for
Were you just surprised there's still a tier 1 in the...
Yeah, I guess so.
It's under attack.
I was just wondering if they were like trying to mount some kind of a defense, but they're just buying a little bit more time, waiting for their heroes to respawn.
It's under attack.
And is that Desolator going to be finished up? Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
So
okay.
those towers melt a lot quicker. I want to see what the Razor's going. Actually, maybe trying to
And
defend.
Razor has a lot more net worth now. He's actually, I mean, the top of the pops is pretty close. Only a 4K split all the way from the Lifestealer to the Bristleback. But oh, it was a nice deny.
But now we've got the Axe Golems. They're going to be doing a ton more
that's
damage in
true.
these team fights.
And Bristleback does have his Radiance picked up. Going to be going for the Octarine Core up next. That's both a big survivability and a big damage improvement for him. I don't believe anybody has gone for an Urn on CDC, let alone a Spirit Vessel. So.
Oh no, they do. The Grimstroke just has an Urn. No
Okay.
Spirit Vessel. He's got he's got the Windlace as well, but still a little bit until the other components come through. Has 0 charges as well. The horror.
Oh, Rubik looking in the trees here. Will not be able to find him. And Shadow Shaman also still just chilling here. James might try and cut the next wave. Delay this push a little bit.
Shrine is under attack.
Alright,
Those more stuff's really being highly prioritized as well. Maybe just trying to deal with a lot of the slows that are coming out from Cignal's side. You know, the upheaval and the shadows.
No, I think Kite
the Bristle or the LC.
Yeah, well, Force Staff's being prioritized on both sides. Signal's got it mostly for the Razor and the Lifestealer, I would imagine.
I guess.
It's also pretty good against Hex. Somebody gets Hex or Shackle, just push him back.
I think it's more about enabling your team rather than countering initiations from the other team. Because really, this LC's been on point with all of his duels. You know, it's been rare that we've seen him just running around like a headless chicken in these team fights. You know, he's right there, either in deep, getting a duel off onto a high priority target, like the Lifestealer rather, and then using the overwhelming odds when the rotations do actually come through, relying on the rest of his team to do the initial damage and then surprising with that additional burst.
They're gonna have to get this Razor though. I think XM can do a ton of damage in this upcoming fight. He's got a full 10-second BKB. If they let him get the link off,
here we go. They're looking to contest this 30-minute rune as well.
Radiant
scan. They know what's going on. Smoke's gonna break. They jump in. They immediately get the lockdown onto the Rubik. He's dead. They get the Sonic Wave from the high ground. Soulbind's coming in. The clock getting locked down by that. But here come the Golems. The Fatal Bond's also doing decent damage. They're going to lose the Lifestealer. Dead for 100. How much can Razor actually do with this BKB? He's man-fighting with the wards, but it's just way too much damage from Nando. They will also end up losing the Legion Commander. Grimstroke going to go for the TP out as James also buying back into the game, but Bristleback standing strong, did take a lot of damage
It's
in
just
that
those
fight.
golems, man. Look at it. Did the most damage on his entire team. Got a great rock off, and then that Fatal Bond sitting on everyone except the Lifestealer, I think.
Yeah, oh man. Yeah, they do not have great ways to deal with the Fatal Bonds. I mean, they've got a BKB and a Rage now, but that's about it. And Grim's just going to be marching his army down at bottom. This could actually be a secondary lane of Rax. There is a Radiant Glyph available, but is that really going to be doing enough?
Radiant structures are fortified.
That tilts a little bit using it then.
Tower is under attack.
Oh man. They get the lift. Victoria is dead. They don't have the Golems anymore, but they've got the Bristleback, and he's here to stay.
That's all he needs. He just needs those Warpath stacks sitting at level 21, so looking pretty healthy. Eyes back on the Grimstroke.
But this is going to be a second melee barracks. For sure. They come in here with the Soulbind, trying to hold it off, jump in, get the call as well. Do they have enough damage? Bristleback's still just standing strong in the front lines. They do get the additional Chaotic Offering out of the Warlock. Spirit Vessel going to work. Looks like they should be able to bring down Bristle. Once again, Nando does pay the price to get a building for his team. Rubik also getting caught out. James finds him. CDEC getting some nice pressure on the way out here. Will get a couple of good kills, but can they get any kind of objective out of this? That has to really be the big question for them.
Again, it's just taking that fight a little bit, well, what you would think is a little bit too early, right? Like, they only had 3 people on their team, but that instant Soulbind into Hex was huge. You know, comboing it together with the Axe. Really the lesser lights on the team in terms of farm are really turning it around for CDEC here.
Yeah, they do have these combos, and we are starting to see that the Bristleback is not completely unkillable. CDC certainly still in this, and this could actually be a close one, man.
And they're going to be pushing pretty fast as well. They got the Desolator building into the AC as well, so maybe prioritizing this building damage, going for more of a rat style.
Let's see if they can force something here. They would love to see a buyback, but I'm not sure if they're going to get the opportunity. There's both the Sonic Wave and the Glyph available. James, already suspecting what was going to happen there, was trying to blink past and look for a Hex, but the Legion Commander was also in position to maybe go for a blink in and purge that off. So they were both thinking about the possibilities there.
What can they follow up with? Roshan could be about to respawn at any minute, but what are we thinking?
We're going to have to see. They're
that's pretty fast. That's like
somebody's
30
scouting it with
seconds.
their crew. Yeah, that's really fast. It's going to be up in just a few, and Cignal, they've already smoked up. Heading over in that direction. Roshan, like 5, 4, 3, that's 6 seconds.
2,
5,
2.5.
Yeah. 2 again.
2 again.
2 again.
They've
1.
spotted it.
Roshan. Okay. So Radiant have scouted this. They know because of the courier, and they're going to try and make some kind of a move. Chaotic Offering is back off cooldown. They've loaded up the Infest Bomb. They need to get that immediate kill, but they also need to try and find a hero that doesn't have buyback. Still having that Shrine control is pretty fortunate for the Radiant. They do have something to buy back and TP onto, but same is also true, of course, for Cignal. Rubik trying to break the smoke here. He does it and immediately blinks away. Fantastic.
Just wastes a full initiation on CDEC's side. Yeah, they know that Roshan is up, but they're like, well, they could be anywhere. They have zero vision.
Unless they kill somebody, there's absolutely no way that they take the Roche, right? But they're just going to get rocked in the pit. That's going to be the end of it.
I think maybe if they had their Aghanims on the Razor, it might have been a different story, because you would have had that additional ticks. The Line of Summer would have really started to come into play. Got the Desolator. I'm not sure if Lifestealer has the AC just yet, but
All right, Cignal, once again, they've got the high ground this time, and they need to be a little bit careful about fighting around the trying to get the lift up onto the Lifestealer. He doesn't have his armlet turned on. He's taking a lot of damage from the duel, but looks like he might survive, though, with the Sonic Wave coming in. He's dead. He buys back immediately. TPing out onto the Shrine, races in the backlines with an Arcane Rune running. He runs down the Rubik, but James also going to lose his life, and he's dead for 100 seconds, fighting for control of this high ground spot as the Rock's now coming down, along with the Upheaval. Grimm's controlling this fight and splitting it up, as it looks like the Grimstroke's going to lose his life in the backlines. Queen of Pain trying to choose her target, will come back over, kills off the Grim as
Great
the Golems just force him back. And yeah, straight into the pit they will go. Got to be careful with this Courier, they're going to lose it to the Quill Spray. And armor, minus armor getting stacked up. Tons of physical damage for Cignal Ultra, and that is going to be the Aegis plus the cheese going their way.
Not even the most ideal rock drop either from the
They're trying to fight. Axe trying to come in here. Blink and call.
Oh,
they
they
get the
get it.
last hit. They're also
They're
going to
not
get the
picking
Aegis
anything up.
potentially. Cheese, Aegis, Lifestealer's got it. They've got the duel coming through, but is that actually going to be a win? It won't. Winner for the Lifestealer. Now Bristleback's dead. They've done it on
Radiant's middle
CDEC.
barracks are under attack.
Where's
Matt.
the cheese? Where's the cheese?
The cheese is on the Axe, I think. They got everything. They got the Roche, they got the Aegis, they got the cheese, they've got the Warlock kill. Cignal were not trying hard enough to stop that happening. They needed somebody just like sitting further up on the high ground.
I mean, Warlock was, right?
Yeah, but they blinked over his head.
Yeah.
Radiant's middle
I mean,
barracks has fallen.
It's such, for lack of a
Man.
better word, such a ballsy play that they've done
They had
three
to.
times now. Three
Yeah.
times.
Jump in, they get the call. Queen of Pain taking big damage. Don't even need the dunk. Auto attacks from the Lifestealer will bring it down. And CDEC maybe swinging back the momentum here. The net worth lead is almost in their favor. Brizzle's starting to feel a little bit squishier as the Razor is getting tankier and tankier.
How do you fight three times into a 3v4 or a 3v5 situation and win
And
every
somehow
time?
win, yeah. The follow-up fights are looking... The fights where they don't have the numbers are looking better than the fights where they do.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to me.
Like when their backs are against the wall, just
They activate
secret
somehow.
power
Yeah.
level is somehow
Yeah.
activated. And now they've got the Aegis. They can confidently push onto this high ground. They can
Yeah.
force out their own BKBs.
Yeah, they're looking for a blink call.
Again, just a very confident play going for the all-or-nothing style.
Bristleback's alive, so is the Legion. Quap's got a buyback. They want the tier 3. Lifestealer, not going to lose his Aegis just yet, still hanging on to that. Willing to use the Infest, they jump in, they get the call. The Bristleback taking huge damage. Also the super long range shackles, he's dead. He's down for 85 seconds. Nando in the ground. They don't have their big carry, and what can they actually do to stop CDC at this point?
I mean, you've got the Queen of Pain coming up in 10 seconds, but you have to think, Nando, did you need to be that far forward?
Yeah, maybe just give them the first lane of racks. And now they're just going to take a little bit more. They do need to be careful of the Warlock. Victoria's pinging. They're going to show that hero a little bit of respect. Maybe back up, take the shrines, grab some heals. They've still got a decent duration left on the Aegis.
Oh, man.
Warlock.
Refresher and nearly 25 as well.
Okay.
This Warlock could
Calm
be
down,
what brings
Grims.
Signal back into
Yeah, all right.
this.
Never mind. Nando's not the carry anymore. It's
No.
Grims.
Look at me. I'm the carry now.
Yeah.
I think as it gets later on as well, if we do get to that point where, for example, the Queen of Pain might hit her level 25, might get that fear away,
Yeah.
just that additional level of crowd control.
Dire's bottom shrine is under attack.
Lifestealer could have got some more value there. Could have used the open wounds before he Midas to heal up, but not a huge deal. They've got some earn charges for him.
We've got the 25 actually on the Axe, so I believe he went the AoE
Radiant's bottom
okay.
increase.
barracks are
Pretty
under
nice.
attack.
And now they're just chipping away at this melee barracks. 10 seconds to go on the Bristleback lift. Just to buy them a couple of seconds. Sonic Wave, but they got the blink in call. Can they follow this up on the Queen of Pain? They need to be
Use his
careful
buyback.
of the Warlock.
Dire's bottom barracks.
Axe getting slowed down. He's immediately going to get dueled up. Not a whole lot that they can do to save him. They lose 1, 2, 3. Here comes the Aegis
Nice
respawning.
rock.
That's rock number 1. They've got rock number 2. There's just so many golems. They're slaying this Lifestealer. He gets auto attack down. He's dead for 2 minutes. Razor going to try for the TP out. Will be successful.
Just gets away, but it's a buyback on the Axe and 110 seconds on this Lifestealer where he's going to be a non-factor in this game.
Yeah, what can they actually do? The golems are... Okay, they're reasonably fast, but can they actually... This is the Morokai problem. Can you get them to the enemy base before they time out?
No.
We will have to see.
I would have thrown one in top lane and one in bottom lane, just for the pure AoE, being able to push it down a little bit.
Oh, split them up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got 4.
Yeah, that's true.
2 still do the job in mid lane.
Okay. They're running it down. Still no buyback for this Lifestealer.
This
Doesn't have the time for 3 minutes. They jump in. They get the duel pretty much immediately onto the Razor. He's tanking in the front lines. Can they actually bring him down to about a 3rd HP? Doesn't have the BKB to get out of this upheaval. He's surrounded by the golems and he gets brought down. XM does have the buyback available. BKB being used by the Queen of Pain. Legion Commander doesn't have the duel for 30 seconds. Axe going to be looking for the jump. Can he find a good call? It's just the Rubik so far. Look for the dunk, get that bonus move speed to get themselves out of here. Once again, CDEC, do they have that secret superpower? It's the 4v4 fight. They're chasing them outside of the base. The Warlock doesn't really have anything. They found him. Get the Yules up. And Axe going to come in with the call. They are looking for the turnaround. Queen of Pain with the Sonic Wave, but do they have the sustained damage? They need to get Nando in here. BKB TP out from XM. James might not be so lucky. He gets the double Hex out. They're looking for the Inkswell control as well. He's also got the Shackles. They will finally manage to interrupt it, but decent damage onto the Legion Commander. Buyback immediately from James. Grimstroke also about to go down, but I think he might also have buyback. He does.
He does. So
and they bought the time.
5v5. So only heroes with buyback right now are the Grimstroke, Warlock, Legion Commander, and Queen of Pain. So pretty heavily favored towards the Cignal side.
I think this is what? So this is CDEC favored until the double rock comes back up.
Yeah.
Which is probably still a little while.
Radiant's
That's what we
top shrine
really need to
has
check
fallen.
out here is how close the Refresher and the ultimate are for the Warlock.
I'd say about 40 seconds, maybe 30, on at least for his just normal rock. Lifestealer getting closer to his 25, Queen of Pain closer to her 25. It's really going to be a game of experience, I think, at this point. And we saw previously, you know, CDEC, they had a good setup pushing forward, but maybe just shades of those TI qualifiers coming back to haunt them, not wanting to dive into the
They found the crystal back on mid. Nando just way too far up. What is he doing there?
Well, he's got the buyback this time.
Okay, but he's dead for 90 seconds.
Yeah, they're pinging out Roshan. Yeah, not keeping the timer handy, otherwise they know it's still going to be about 2 minutes until it respawns, minimum.
So they should probably just go and... They should get that top shrine. Well, they should get any shrine, actually. And then maybe try and get that top tier 2. They got to take that shrine for Roshan control. CDEC playing pretty cautiously here.
And with how back and forth this game's been, it's only a 1k net worth advantage so far to Cignal, less than that. And you would have to think that they want to start just sitting around this top shrine, right? If they absolutely need to, you can buy back on the Bristleback, you can TP into this shrine, and you have the high ground area.
It's a good place to fight, for sure. And CDEC, they don't have the Razor over there just yet, moving into position now.
Yeah, even this Axe Illusion just cutting the wave, trying to force Cignal to play on the back foot. In the bot lane too, this Axe is just sitting there with his Illusion, slowly pushing the waves out.
Well, they're trying to bait the Axe Illusion a little bit, it looks like.
Yeah, it's a sense of impending doom, it seems. But here we go, they're taking the shrine finally.
Dire's top shrine is under
Lifestealer
attack.
did get his 25, also going to be going for a BKB. Well, they still have a lot of physical damage, but
Dire's
will
top
be a bit more
shrine
difficult
has
to deal with.
fallen.
Looks like the Refresher and the Chaotic Offering are both back off cooldown for Grims. So he's going to be a
25.
super high priority target for CDEC if they can find him.
Deep breath.
Yeah, this is a tense game. This next team fight's going to decide a lot. We do have a couple of buybacks available. Lifestealer, the Queen of Pain, the Legion Commander, all have it up. Aeon Disc being picked up by the Queen of Pain. So that'll help against these Axe initiations, but they've loaded up the Lifestealer bomb one more time. They're holding the high ground. Cignal, don't just walk into this. They need to be careful. Blink and call. They've got the Legion Commander. There is the lift to help it out. Double Chaotic Offering being dropped. Is that going to be enough to win in this fight? They're keeping the Legion alive. He gets off the BKB. They work down the Axe. They're also looking towards this Lifestealer. He got feared by the Queen of Pain. He's armor toggling for dear life. Overwhelming odds, almost enough to bring him down. James is dead. No buyback available for him. They're still fighting. They've lost the Legion, but she's got buyback. They're hiding the Grimstroke, but he's now dead. XM, nothing left in the tank. He gets feared. Does manage to Yules himself, but Nando is still hot on his tail. Is this actually going to be enough damage with the ultimate from the Razor? It's not, and it looks like Cignal may have done it.
Oh man, that AoE pressed the attack, doing so much. It was put off after the golems came down as well, so they were just doing a ton of damage.
Lifestealer wants to fight, but look at these golems with the attack speed. He can't stand there. I think they might just straight up end this game with one more press the attack. Sonic Wave to catch one more, Lifestealer. No way that he is going to 4v1 this, and it looks like Cignal have done it. They're going to be going to the grand finals.
These towers melting, and GG is called. That is a 2-1 for Cignal Ultra. What a comeback after the earlier stage of the game. Losing those undermanned fights and then just completely, as soon as they hit those timings, those key level 25s, it was just all Cignal, easy game.
They were winning. It was still looking good. They were up on racks. They got the crucial turnaround. CDEC playing really nicely in a couple of those fights without the chaotic offering, but
being able to claw their way back into it, but it just seemed like it was Signal's game.
Well, we saw why they were banning the Warlock.
Yeah.
Like that hero can just, he's a good position 5 in the early game, and then late game he can be better than a core.
Yeah,
just
especially
by
with
having
that
a couple of items.
That AoE press the attack. Oh man,
that was so sick.
Just like smashing your face.
They do a lot of damage actually. Like they synergize really well with any attack speed.
Yeah. What a game. And that fight in bot lane between the tier 1 and tier 2 towers where the Warlock got, I believe, a triple kill at the time, it just brings him so much closer to his level 15 where you get that 60% XP talent.
Yeah, and then he had the Midas and the experience talent, and at that point you're just set. Yeah. You're set for life as Warlock. I saw the timing on the Midas, and I was like, Grims is a happy camper. He's really like feeling good about how this game is going.
It was what, like 17 minutes or something like that?
I think even less than that. A lot of it's got to be some of the stack gold as well that he got, right? He was helping with the Ancients, stacking it up nonstop for Nando. Not only did he make sure that Nando was the #1 net worth that he needed to be, but he also secured a lot of farm for himself, which is super cool. And so with that, we have Cignal moving to the grand finals. CDEC dropping down into the 3rd, 4th decider. That is going to be their best placement in this event. Unfortunately,
you would have to think they're disappointed.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I think they were the favorites coming in.
Yes, absolutely. And it's just, it's a shame to see that that's the way that, not that tournament life is going to end, but 1st and 2nd, it's out of their reach, unfortunately. But congrats to Cignal. They definitely deserve it after, it was a pretty good stage. I mean, from what we're seeing so far, things are staying pretty true to the placements that have gone through the round-robin stage. Yeah. So Cignal were a clear 2nd place.
I'm really looking forward to seeing more of them, more of them tomorrow as well. They get the rest of the day off. They can go and watch this Newbie versus Hippomaniac series that's going on right now, scout out their opposition, get a good rest, and then they'll be back here tomorrow on the main stage of WCG for the grand finals. That's going to be super cool.
I think it's probably the main event of the entire tournament. Like, Dota's always been pretty front and center.
It has been given pretty, I think they've given Dota some pretty good spots on the schedule. Yeah, for sure. HOK and Crossfire also pretty cool. Yeah.